Here we go. What's going on, everybody? We're back. We're live. We're large. We're in charge, as my boy Chris Hansen would say. It's good to be back. Obviously, I'm doing more shows here and there. But doing the best I can. I just know that I need to do more live streams just because, one, it's a nice distraction. Two, makes me feel a little bit better, I guess, Doing the best I can, man. Doing the best I can. Give me a few moments. This will take a few seconds, you guys. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. We're back. Zaddy's back, bro. Zaddy. Oh. What up? All right, I think we're ready. You guys ready? Let's go. This may take a few more seconds. Got to make sure the pin message is working here. Been doing a little bit of an experiment.
So now it's Dijonais.
It's my boy Skip Bayless. Skip. Okay. Okay, we're back. All right. We're going to make this work. So we're going to react to a few videos. So it's Donald Trump versus the Democratic Socialists of America. Obviously, I think a lot of you guys who view the channel a lot know where I stand on socialism. I think socialism is a stupid idea. I think democracy is also stupid. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional representative republic. It's got elements of democracy within, but it's not a democracy ultimately, because if it was a democracy, it would actually be a democracy. We are a representative republic at the end of the day. That's just the way it works. It's better that way, trust me. Our founding fathers realized how dangerous majority rule actually is, and they intentionally did not make us a democracy. There is a very good reason that they did not make us a democracy. Because they knew how dangerous that would be at the end of the day. Because democracy is a dangerous idea. And we're not a democracy. That's why I always get annoyed when everybody's like, we got to save our democracy. We're not a democracy. We have elements of a democracy, but we're not one. We are a constitutional representative republic. But, when you're right, you're right. But I love it when idiots try to tell me that I'm wrong. I love it when morons try to tell me that I'm wrong. It's like, no, I'm right. Just look it up, dude. It's like nobody fucking took a civics class. I swear, nobody understands civics. I'm not saying I'm an exact expert, but you all should know that we're a constitutional republic. Coyote 3 says, "Oh, buddy, did the Fauci crowd see the text?" I'm not too sure. All I know is that Dr. Fauci. I am not a fan of Dr. Fauci. I have nothing but negative things to say about him, and honestly, the things that I would say about him might get me banned. So I'm just gonna hold my tongue. And I'm not going to talk about Dr. Fauci. No, Grok knows that I'm right because it's a constitutional representative republic. We're not a democracy. There's a difference between, look, we have elements of a democracy, yes. But at the end of the day, we don't vote on any federal laws. You and me don't vote on federal laws. The representatives and the senators that we get, that we elect, that we vote for democratically choose the laws. We don't. We choose the representatives, but at the end of the day, we don't choose the laws. Coyote 3 says it's all over the internet right now. Now, is this the phone that he was using during COVID? Let's say, actually, let's take a look. Let's look up Dr. Fauci. And honestly, like I said, I have to really hold my tongue about Dr. Fauci because I have nothing nice to say about that man. All right, stunning admission unearthed from Fauci's text messages.
Let's bring in
Let's take a look.
Senator Ron Johnson, chairman of the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations.
I'm actually kind of excited about this because I knew in my heart of hearts that the guy was not a good person. But no, we're a representative republic. We're not a democracy, we're a republic. There is a difference. Why would you call it a representative democracy when we're literally a representative republic? You don't rewrite history because it makes you feel better. Okay? In fact, you know what? Is the United States a constitutional republic? Holy shit, dude. Yes, the United States is a constitutional republic. This means that it operates under a written constitution that establishes the framework of government and limits the powers of its representatives. In a constitutional republic, elected officials represent the interests of the people while adhering to the principles outlined in the Constitution, which serves as the supreme law of the land. The term republic indicates that the power of government is held by the people and exercised through the elected representatives, while the constitutional aspect ensures that the representatives operate within defined legal limits. So no, we're not a representative democracy. We are a representative republic. Stop trying to rewrite history, you low IQ leftist chatters. Let's keep going.
He joins us by phone now. Senator Johnson, welcome to you. First, do add to what we are hearing here, Dr. Fauci, Anthony Fauci, in these new texts, specifically on...
Gross, Dr. Fauci. Oh, man, dude. But hey, let's keep going, man.
On him saying that the second COVID dose could theoretically be associated with miscarriage in the first trimester. What do you make of what?
That's crazy. That alone. I mean, this is honestly, this is the face of evil.
What we're learning here.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on and thanks for covering this.
He knows what he did. He knows exactly what he did. He knows. He knows.
So we obviously have his phone. We've downloaded it, and we're going to carefully go through this to protect people's personal information. But I thought we had to release this right away because this is, I think, major news. Anthony Fauci, in a text exchange with Vivek Murthy and Rochelle Walensky, CDC director, they're talking about the COVID injection and having pregnant women.
I always thought.
And in the middle of that text exchange, I think the key text is where Anthony Fauci is talking about the fact that the second dose.
Hey, we got my boy Chris Rule. It's good to see you, Brony. Yeah, isn't that it pisses you off, doesn't it, Coyote 3, man? It pisses me off, I'll tell you that. I know it pisses me off to no end. Uncle Chris has arrived, man. Uncle Chris.
Creates a greater
Thank you,
cytokine
brother.
storm, additional information that could have an impact on increased miscarriages in the first trimester. Now, to add to that, in June of 2021,
I 100% agree with you, Annie. There is a special place, and you know where, for Mr. Fauci. But make sure that you guys double tap your screen to like the stream one more time. If you guys can, if you haven't already, double tap the screen to like the stream. The more likes we get, the better. It does help us. It helps push us out on the YouTube algorithm quite a bit. So feel free to double tap your screen, man. Bills versus the Panthers, dude. That sounds pretty cool. It's preseason, baby. Preseason.
Tom Shimbakuro, a bunch of other people published a grossly misleading study in the New England Journal of Medicine where they were looking at 827 confirmed pregnancies. There were 104 miscarriages. They call them spontaneous abortions, but we refer to those as miscarriages. 104 divided by 827 would imply about a 12.6% miscarriage rate.
That's crazy.
Which is quite high for confirmed pregnancies.
That's
I talked
insane.
to Dr. James Thorpe. He says it's generally around 3%.
Like, dude, that. Oh my God. Of course. Stuff's editing your RNA. Man, dude. Dr. Fauci has some splaining to do. This man right here has some splaining to do. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Dr. Fauci should answer for what he's done? What do you guys think? I mean, I know I do. I think I really do. Hey, Annie, thank you for sharing the stream out. I appreciate you.
So it's already 4 times as high, but within the realm of confirmed and unconfirmed pregnancies, okay? So they put this study out there, but what they don't reveal, they do, but they don't.
But yeah, like I said, if you can, though, please double tap your screen to like the stream. It really does help the channel in a lot of ways. So the more likes we get, the better. Really pushes us out on the algorithm. And, the more likes, the more success.
700 of those 827 women took the injection in their 3rd trimester. Now, spontaneous abortions occur before 20 weeks. 3rd trimester starts after 28. So the relevant denominator would have been 127. So you would have had 124 miscarriages out of 127
Wow.
of the women who got the injection in the 1st or 2nd trimesters. That's an 82%. 82%.
82% chance of a miscarriage? Is that what this dude is saying? Dude. I mean, if that doesn't piss people off, I don't know what does. Of course, there's going to be people that defend this man for some reason. Like I have my reasons for, and they're really good reasons, by the way, for me despising this man.
Miscarriage rate. That's.
I think everybody has a very good reason to despise this guy.
That is shocking news. Okay, and that's been known for quite some time.
Give me a moment.
But again, the federal health agencies weren't highlighting that. Gross misrepresentation by Tom Shimbakura, who is, by the way, he's the guy, the head of safety surveillance for the CDC, who deleted his emails. And we've also found out that not only did he delete them on his devices, but somebody deleted them on HHS servers as well.
Oh,
Again,
wow.
That needs to be fully investigated in terms of violation of the Federal Records Act.
Hey, Senator, it's John Roberts here.
so he was deleting records? That's pretty unethical.
With Sandra. So what Fauci said in that text message that you divined from his phone seems to be quite at odds with the public messaging that occurred following him sending that text message. That text message was sent on the 25th of January, 2021. Fauci said on February 3rd, and you included this in your press release regarding this, Fauci's message was, FDA have found thus far, and we have to be careful, but thus far no red flags about that, about pregnant women.
Oh my God. That is huge, because he basically admitted, it sounds like he acknowledged in that private text message that it was dangerous to pregnant women. And it was associated with miscarriages. And then it's not medical advice. I'm just basically parroting what is in this video. So what I'm hearing is that Fauci basically lied to the public. Oh, go figure. That doesn't shock me in any way, because the dude is a pathological you-know-what.
August 11th, 6 months later, CDC Sasha Ellington, we are not seeing a signal of safety concerns of the vaccine in pregnancy. Fauci again, August 30th. He said tens and tens of thousands of women who have been...
Hey, thank you so much. Approved username, Mr. ET, dude. It's good to see you, Brony. Hey, I love you. I love you, ET. Thanks for being a member again, brother. I appreciate that big time. Anybody who wants to become a member, I always appreciate it. Yeah, but Fauci scares the crap out of me, dude.
Followed by the CDC.
ET says, glad to see you back, Garza. Top G move indeed. It absolutely is, dude.
Have been vaccinated when they were pregnant. There's no indication whatsoever there's any increase in adverse issues. It stands in sharp contrast with the concerns that he voiced back in January.
It's funny, man. The dude lied to our faces, dude. Dude lied to our faces.
That same year.
Yes, they lied.
Aaron Rodgers had every right to call out Dr. Fauci on live television. He absolutely did. Every right.
Right. Again, not one major news broadcast station or major newspapers covered my April 29th report, where I showed that Peter Marks, who's head of the division that approves vaccines and surveils for safety in FDA, was told that his algorithm analyzing virus is going to hide mass safety signals. And then for 4 consecutive months, using a new algorithm, senior FDA officials were shown dozens of safety signals, including sudden cardiac death, pulmonary infarction, which Fauci himself suffered from in June of 2021, Bell's palsy, different types of strokes. So no, again, I've been frustrated that the news media hasn't been covering.
We need to apologize to everybody, except for me. I don't have to apologize to anybody because I already knew everything was a scam here. So what do you guys in the chat think about Dr. Fauci? Do you guys think he's innocent? Do you think he's guilty? How about this? We're going to do a quick little poll in the chat. If you think that Fauci's innocent, say innocent. If you think that Fauci's guilty, say guilty.
Bring up that major scandal. I guess because this is attached to Fauci, maybe we'll start paying attention to how our federal officials, and starting at the top with Anthony Fauci, lied to the American public, did not provide informed consent for those experimental gene therapy injections.
Senator, what's next here? I mean, we saw that 111 times last week he pleaded the fifth, didn't answer a question. What happens next with your committee and Congress based on this?
America should be pissed at this guy. America should be absolutely pissed at Fauci.
This news.
In my opinion. In my opinion.
Well, we've invited Anthony Fauci now for a transcribed interview. He's been quoted saying he's not afraid of congressional oversight. He'll talk to any oversight committee. He's got nothing to hide. So we're going to give him that opportunity, not in a public forum, but in a private, transcribed interview where he can start answering the hundreds, if not thousands, of questions.
He's got a lot of explaining to do, dude. He has a lot of explaining to do. He absolutely does. Give me one moment. I'm going to get more pizza. I need pizza. All right.
But the American people deserve answers too. That, quite honestly, he's the only guy that can answer some of these questions. So we'll give him another opportunity. We've invited him. His attorneys have contacted us. If they don't set up that voluntarily, I will subpoena him.
All right. Senator, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. I know you got 34,000 text messages and 522 voicemails to go through, so you got a bit of work ahead.
The worst part is, my dad thinks that Dr. Fauci did nothing wrong. But my dad is one of those people who believe anything that the government tells him because my dad's brainwashed by dogma. He's brainwashed. My dad's brainwashed by dogma, so he'll see a guy like Dr. Fauci and he'll trust him because my dad has no red flag detector. My dad doesn't know when he's being lied to. He doesn't. But he also lies through his teeth, which is surprising. So you think he would actually know when somebody's lying to him.
Ahead of you here as we peel back the layers of the onion regarding Dr. Anthony Fauci and what the messaging from the NIAID was and whether it contrasts with what the public messaging was. Appreciate your time, sir. Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full.
Oh, here we go. The 5 on the left's stupid idea generator. Let's listen
the
to
Dem
this.
establishment is sucking up to the socialists, who may eventually swallow them whole. Abdul El Sayed.
Never align with socialists. Never get into a deal with a socialist because you know what they do? They don't follow through because they're lazy people. People who think that socialism is a good idea, they tend to be the laziest people I've ever met. And then what's even worse is those lazy people will tell you that you're not working hard enough. My dad's a great example of that.
Describe the...
My dad's a lazy person. He loves socialism. And he doesn't know shit about finance because he's a stupid person.
really warm conversation with former President Barack Hussein Obama. And Gavin Newsom is out in Michigan and meeting with Abdul. He's trying to impress his hot date by fashioning himself as a fellow insurgent.
I think this notion of insurgency over incumbency is the real message here. And people just want fighters. They want people with conviction, strength, clarity, people that get it, want to get things done, and they're done with the status quo. And I totally respect that. I've long felt like I've been an established insurgent. I've always had that mindset.
Established insurgent. He's amazing. And the Dems' crusty soothsayer is on his soapbox again.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's his name? James something well.
Progressive left, they're very tech people. I think they've come up with an AI random stupid idea generator. And I think the stupid idea generator can think of things that humans can't, like canceling Thanksgiving or being against interracial dating. So I'm just waiting to the next stupid idea AI.
Oh yeah. The problem is these Democratic Socialists, they don't have a mind of their own, and they have to rely on the group. And the problem is when people all try to copy each other, nobody can form an original idea because everybody's turning to the group to come up with the answers. And when the group is all turning to the group, no individual can think for themselves to come up with a solution. Because everybody's like, well, the group needs to come up with the solution. Well, the group is you, morons.
Generator that comes out.
Yeah, I agree with that man, Joey. I love.
But really, I am sick and tired of the socialists. They're really just communists. Let's just not candy coat it. Democratic Socialists are really just communists at the end of the day. That's all there is to it. That's my opinion.
Gavin Newsom, he's like Play-Doh in the hot sun. He'll just mold himself onto anything. Now he's an establishment insurgent. The only time he's an insurgent is when he's meeting his buddies' wives.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin Newsom's a scumbag, dude.
Yeah. Listen, the thing about Gavin Newsom is it doesn't matter what. He'll do it. If he thinks it'll make him cool or get people like him, he's there. Anything but fix the state of California or run the state well.
Dude, I feel like Gavin, not just feel, I know that Gavin Newsom has not made California a good place. Under Gavin Newsom's leadership, California has turned into a freaking hellhole, in my opinion. California sucks. It's a beautiful place, but you go to the cities of California, it's a hellhole. Cost of living's through the roof. Nobody can really afford to live in California, so that all the rich people are like, you know what? This is hurting my bottom line to stay here in this crummy state. I'm going to move to Texas or Florida. Because at least in Texas or Florida, I'm not going to get, taxed up the behind. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. So all the rich people want to move out of New York and California because what does New York and California do? They tax the rich. And now there's going to be basically no tax revenue for these states because rich people don't even want to be in those states anymore. They're like, you know what? We're just not going to even bother. There's the truth. Sorry. Not sorry. Something I gotta check real quick. Hold on. Just give me a second, you guys. It's gonna take maybe a second. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
You know, he should go campaign with Talarico because his whole line could be, California is the birthplace of successful Texas businesses. I mean, just think about all the businesses that started in California and made their way to Texas. I mean, that really should be Ken Paxton's campaign, I guess. I don't know. Is Gavin Newsom falling off a little bit?
Yes.
Is he losing some pizzazz? I think what's happened is that he's made it from California to the national stage. People had a chance to look under the hood and say, "Ooh, no, we don't want that."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, nobody wants Gavin Newsom. He reminds me so much of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. It almost disturbs the hell out of me. Second, the guy, I just don't feel like he just doesn't seem like one of those guys that really has much of a conscience. So it's not just seems. I just don't. He gives me the heebie-jeebies, is what I'm trying to say. Gavin Newsom gives me the heebie-jeebies, dude. The guy scares the crap out of me. He doesn't seem trustworthy. I feel like take one look at him, and my red flag detector goes off immediately.
So Harold Carville says that the left has some kind of stupid idea generator, and I think he's right, but it's academia. It's something that we pointed out. Where are these ideas coming from? It's from the.
Well, they're coming from the idiotic college professors that are indoctrinating these children into thinking that socialism is actually a good idea, when in all reality, your college professor has never done anything with his life probably and believes in stupid ideas.
Teachers' lounges and the campus quads.
There may be some, I think, with regard to some of the warped and wrong ideas we have around Israel and some of they think, not us, but some of these things we're hearing in the political dialogue. I definitely think a lot of it's at the university level. But where I went to university, we didn't, at Penn and Michigan, we didn't talk about these kind of crazy things. I do think James is onto something. There's an inclination and an energy behind offering the most outlandish, zealot-like, and frankly, almost divisive kind of answers to the biggest problems and challenges people are facing. The young lady who said she wanted to tax everybody and that, we live in a democracy.
God, taxing everybody is stupid. Living in a full-on democracy is stupid. It's just like these socialists don't understand how economics works. They literally think that you could just tax away a problem. But the problem is when you have to gather the taxes, when taxes are gathered, those taxes are given to the government. And who has the worst track record with managing money? The government. You don't want to give, honestly, giving money to the government is so stupid. Like I pay my taxes, obviously. I don't like it, but I pay my taxes. But giving money to the government, it makes my skin crawl. It does.
There's no doubt we need a tax system that is fair, and we have to figure out where we're going to use resources and establish our priorities. But I can assure you, no one's going to give the DSA and that young lady any more dollars than they have to try to solve any problems, because she hadn't identified any answers to any of the problems that she wants to solve. She just says that the other side is really bad. I remind these people, and I tried to say it a few weeks ago on the show, in our 250 years of life as a nation, we have gone through episodes and intervals in our nation's history where we have fought against economic malaise, economic challenge. We had a great president named FDR who decided to make it where people, where Joey and I are from, he gave us electricity. He created something, a public-private partnership. He didn't quit and say we should go all be socialists and communists. There was a guy named Thurgood Marshall who said, we got to make sure black kids and white kids can go to school together. They didn't say blow up the country. They decided to challenge the notion that separate but equal in schools was the right thing. Thurgood Marshall led an effort to get that overturned at the school.
He's making a point, making a hell of a point right here. The problem is the Democrats, the modern Democrats don't want to unite. They want to divide and they want to destroy. It's crazy because the modern Democratic Socialists, they seem pretty pro-segregation, which is honestly really disturbing to me. This is why I don't vote for the Democrats, because they have become the party of racism again. They were originally the party of the KKK, and then for years they claimed, there's a party switch. No, there wasn't. You guys are still the same racist Democrats that you've always been. You guys invented the KKK, basically. I don't believe the Democrats. I think that they're inherently racist, and that's why I don't vote Democrat, because I do believe Democrats, I just believe they're racist. I mean, they don't think, they basically talk down to minorities. They almost talk to minorities as if they are children, which is really weird, by the way. And by the way, I am a minority, just to let you know. I am part Mexican. And when I see these liberals and how they talk to minorities, it sickens me. Because it's the bigotry of lower expectations. It's fucking weird, dude. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard are we gooning, is Tylord's asking. I don't know. Let's put it up to 15, bro. 18, 21, 24. I'm off the scale, bro.
Supreme Court. I think some of these people, bless their hearts, I think they mean well, but their ideas are stupid. And your idea.
He's got a point there. Sometimes when an idea is just too dumb, you have to call it out, dude. You have to just call out certain ideas for just being too dumb. That's just the way it is, man. I know it's tough. But some ideas just don't pass the test.
Ideas are not going to make the country any better as much as you think that might. My suggestion to you is listen a little bit and try to find coalitions
if you guys
with
can,
people.
though, if you guys, I actually agree with Harold on this one quite a bit. Harold's making a lot of good points. If you guys can, though, double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Thank you very much. It does it. Every like helps us out quite a bit.
Who you agree with, not on everything, but can help us lower prices, make the country safer, try to bring people together. That's what I think the country's eager for. And these ideas, these are not the ones.
All right, Harold, just have to correct you. It was really Thomas Edison and not FDR that brought us electricity.
He made it affordable. FDR did.
All right.
We live.
All right, Sandra. So Obama calls El Said. What do you think they talked about? Their mutual love for Hassan Piker, whatever his name is?
Oh, God, Hassan Piker. Yuck.
Hassan Piker, who says that Americans deserve 9/11. It would behoove moderate Democrats to make sure that they distance themselves from those candidates that are standing next to him. Francesca Hong was certainly one of them. El Sayed as well. He disavowed.
I really do hope the Democrat Party rejects these Democratic Socialists and doesn't allow them to take over the party, because the moment that they try to take over the party, nobody's voting for these Democratic Socialists. Because anybody who's read a history book knows that socialism does not work, and that you are screwing up your own party. Like, people have read enough history to know that socialism doesn't work. If you've read history, you see that there have been plenty of civilizations that have tried socialism and communism, and every single time it ends in murder. It ends in famine. It ends in death. That's the point I'm trying to make. History is probably the greatest teacher of what works and what doesn't. Because chances are, if you came up with an idea just now, it's probably been done already. Just happened a long time ago. You know what I mean? And socialism and communism are really old and stupid ideas. They're both old and stupid. Kind of like Bernie Sanders.
Those comments, but still presents with him. You asked a really important question, and you make the point that they should be touting lowering prices. If you do that, you acknowledge the prices that ran up under the previous Democrat administration. Also, that would force these far-left Democrats to have solutions to that affordability crisis that everybody seems to be living in. But Republicans, could own the messaging on that perhaps these far-left radical policies are born from the problems and challenges that Americans faced under the previous administration. That was the affordability crisis that ran housing prices and costs up to levels that people say they can't live out the American dream anymore, grocery prices that are almost impossible to come down once they go up, although inflation has slowed under this presidency. But that affordability crisis has forced some of these radical ideas. So this is Democrats, now far-left radical socialist Democrats, having to try to fix the previous administration's policies. I mean, it's where it comes from. I don't know. Maybe James Carville's right, but maybe that is the what did he say? The AI random stupid idea generator. It may have been born from that.
What do you say, Kellyanne? Wrap it up.
So Gavin Newsom did this wrong. When you're the governor of California, you don't fly to Michigan. You invite El Sayed to California. And you say, I'm opening up my Rolodex. I'm going to go to a couple fundraisers with you. I'm going to show you the California miracle. So in the absence of that, you go to Michigan. The Golden State is in its tin era, so he doesn't have a lot to show there. But on Obama, his crystal ball has been a little rusty of late. 2016, he said Trump will never be president. He told his own vice president, don't run, I'm going for Hillary. Got that wrong. 2020, he told Joe Biden, don't run. He wanted Buttigieg and a few others. Biden ran.
Buttigieg.
2024.
Buttigieg. Oh, God, he's terrible, dude. I don't know. It's sad that they're cozying up with all these. Why do these people? Why are you all siding with the Democratic Socialists? Do you all have no backbone? Do you all not understand history? Or are you just all a bunch of socialist morons? I'm going to just say that you're all a bunch of socialist morons who never read history and think that it was never implemented properly. Yeah, Newsom's a terrible guy. What are you talking about? Newsom is terrible. Awful. Dude, Newsom gives me he seriously gives me the heebie-jeebies, dude. Newsom straight up gives me the heebie-jeebies. Enough said. Let's keep going.
Before he got behind Kamala, that was not great. And look, Obama had 8 years to do everything the Democratic Socialists of America think America should do.
Oh, can you guys please, if you guys can, though, double tap the screen to like the stream one more time. Double tap your screen to like the stream. The more likes we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. And if you can, also tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Do Medicare for all, anti-Israel, sometimes, but ruined the Middle East really with Muslim Brotherhood and all of his policies there. But he also didn't say defund the police. He also didn't say 9/11, we deserve 9/11. In fact, for 8 years, President Barack Obama commemorated 9/11 as president, as commander-in-chief. So I think he's ill-fitting for where this Democratic Party is going. He is the really only star left that they have. Nobody's asking Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or any of the Bidens to campaign with them. No one's begging Hillary Clinton and even Bill Clinton, the Clinton that was president, the one that never will be. No one's begging them to campaign with them. So we're left with Obama. But I got to say, the Democratic Socialists of America should remember President Obama once said a marriage is between a man and a woman. He was known as deporter-in-chief. I just think when they really peel back who he is, they're going to find out that this rebuke of the establishment, of Pelosi, of Jeffries, of Schumer, of Kamala, of the Bidens, may just include the Obamas as well.
Wow. All right.
I learned
Ahead.
something from the same. You're telling me that President Trump had nothing to do with the prices going up or the wars we're getting into?
Which prices?
The American gas, and everything.
Well, gas.
It's much higher under Biden.
It's much lower under Clinton. I mean, it's like.
I mean, look, under Biden, man, gas prices were pretty high. So everybody who's saying that, oh, gas prices are really high under Trump, they were really fucking high under Biden, dude. Okay. So let's stop. It's crazy because the only thing that Trump has done so far is basically do the war in Iran, which was necessary, by the way. It still is necessary. And to anybody hating on Trump, I mean, like, sure, the war in Iran is going is gone on a lot longer than I want it to. Absolutely. But I still think history's going to look down on it as being the correct move that he made. That at the end of the day, Trump's made all the right moves, dude. All the right moves.
The taxes on gas didn't help before that.
Do you agree with President Trump? We should go after the oil companies and take their profits from them, like he said last week?
I
We go to commercial
that
break.
story. Honestly, I want to go to break, Harold. Jeez. He wants to start a new conversation.
Harold's feisty.
What is with Harold today? Got all this energy. He must have had a lot of fun this weekend.
Steak over the weekend.
Harold maxing.
All right.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streamed.
Hold on. Why is my opinion stupid? If I think that we should... Look, going to war with Iran was not the worst decision one could make. To be honest, it was an inevitable decision. Trump just decided, let's just get this over with. Eventually, somebody had to stop the government of Iran. The government of Iran was killing its own people, its own citizens, bullying surrounding countries. They've been the #1 state sponsor of terror for a long time. Why is everybody suddenly siding with Iran's government when Iran's government is literally a regime? Regimes should not be protected. And the Iranian regime, you know what the Iranian regime deserves? I think you know. I think the no tax for tips is amazing, dude. I love that. I love there's also no tax on Social Security. That's fantastic. That's amazing, dude. Trump's the man. Trump has challenged the status quo so much. Donald Trump has challenged the status quo, and I love him for doing that. Seriously. He's challenged the status quo. He's given a middle finger to the established left, and I love and appreciate him for that. Give me a moment. Yeah, let's take a look here. Oh my goodness. Hunter Biden was interviewed by Tucker Carlson. When did this happen? Maybe I missed that. Tucker Carlson, Hunter Biden. I gotta see this. No way. No fucking way. Let's
humorless, rich white ladies. That all began during a
That may be the case. That wasn't. It understandably was not my experience.
that it wasn't.
And
so, how did you wind up deciding to speak in public? And first of all, with Candace, which I strongly approve of, but I just like, how did that happen?
So the first interview that I did was with Andrew Callahan, and who is a brilliant, in my opinion, journalist and documentarian. And I didn't know anything about him, but I had a lawyer that had done some work for him that had also done some work for me. And he said, "Hey, you should check this guy out." And I did. And what I noticed about Andrew is that I believe he has a real finger on the pulse of what's happening, particularly to a certain demographic, like draft age, 18 to 35-year-olds. And and he has a wider audience also. And
it's funny that you say draft age. That's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, we may we may be coming up to.
I honestly don't think that's going to happen, but who knows? It could happen. Draft could happen. It very well could.
Anyway,
do you think we're going to get a draft?
I think Hunter Biden might know something that we don't.
No, I don't think that they have the. I don't think
because that's when I physically joined the protest at that. I mean, that's like so crazy.
Well, I think you should physically join the protest now. I mean, you're already there. And but anyway, I met with I watched a lot of stuff that Andrew did. I really liked it, and I.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day that Tucker Carlson became kind of woke. That's all right. I still love Tucker Carlson. I think he's a pretty competent interviewer for the most part. I just think that he turned his back on T-Dog a little too early. He kind of went wherever the wind. He went with wherever the wind was blowing, and that sucks, man. So are you guys pretty excited about the next upcoming WNBA season and how Enes Kanter's I think Enes Kanter's going to get signed. I think he's going to get drafted by a WNBA team, and I think it's going to be great. The question is, are they going to allow it? Are they going to allow Enes Kanter? I think it's going to happen, bro. This one says the WNBA seems to hate white women. Of course it does. Go figure. I mean, the WNBA, I feel, has kind of become a little bit racist, you know? Quite a bit. Oh, do we got another Fauci video? Let's take a look.
News alert. We just got new text from Dr. Anthony.
By the way, I'm so done with the Democratic Socialists. I'm so done with Fauci. Done with all those guys. They're all a bunch of chodes. Terrible people. Let's keep going.
Fauci. We will give you the latest on that in just a moment. But right now, it is game time. And Gavin Newsom is ready to play ball. He's playing defense.
Clearly, the Republicans are already trying to paint victories like Abdul Saeed and others as the Democrats have gone too extreme. Well, what do you?
It's nonsense. I mean, look, even he's not even a member of the DSA. I think this notion of insurgency over incumbency is the real message here. And people just want fighters. They want people with conviction, strength, clarity, people that get it, want to get things done, and they're done with the status quo. And I totally respect that. I've long felt like I've been an established insurgent.
Syed shook up the Big Tent with his primary win in Michigan, and Newsom saw the tape and started scouting the new recruit, so he made the call.
I'll be meeting with him tomorrow. The Senate's in play, and the Senate will go through this state. And so, you know, getting behind him is going to be important in that respect. And
you know, honestly, I don't even know what the hell's happening in most of these states half the time. I just don't keep up. Tiny Line Gaming says, Garza, what's up, bro? It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. Nothing much, man. Just kind of trying to get by day, you know. And he says, if he joins the WNBA, I'm definitely watching. Dude, absolutely. I want to see. And dude, his speech that he did announcing that he was gonna sign up for the WNBA made me so happy. I was like, you go, Enes. You're my man, dude. Give me a second here. Okay, give me a second, you guys. I was trying to get something squared away. It takes a few seconds to get things done.
That's going to require not just the party here, but support outside of Michigan.
Every Democrat wanted a meeting with Syed, and even Obama picked up the phone.
I then watched the next year Barack Hussein Obama run for and win the presidency. I was grateful for his advice. It was very warm, very inviting,
We don't want any more Democratic Socialists. We just don't. The Democrat Party has lost its way. People are no longer going to vote for there's going to be some morons who vote Democrat. But if you inject democratic socialism into the Democratic Party, it's game over. It is game over. You're not a big tent party, you're a big stupid party. That's what you are. You're not a big tent party. You're a big stupid party if you allow the socialists to take over your stupid party. Anyway, that's my take on it. One moment. Okay, let's keep going.
I know that he knows the critical role that Michigan is going to play in holding Trump accountable. I hope that we get to campaign together.
Now, maybe Obama invited him to train at his new DNC headquarters in Chicago, but Syed's already got his own.
I don't know what kind of training he's going to do. Is he just going to be like, yeah, democratic socialism, yeah. Tiny Line Gaming's watching Drunken Master with Jackie Chan. Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking amazing, dude. Amazing. Oh my God. Hold on. I gotta let this sink in. All right, give me a few more seconds, you guys. There's something I got to look into a little bit. Something I'm trying to research. Something I'm trying to figure out. And I don't know what it is. Hold on, you guys. Stand by. Give me just a few more seconds. Okay, this is going to take a few seconds. Oh my God. Oh, geez. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure something out here.
Own playbook.
As I've said across this campaign, I am for taxing billionaires their wealth.
What about people who
And
make less
for
than $1
the
billion and
average
less
person-
than $1 million, though, Dr. El-Sayed?
After you pay your taxes, the next biggest check that comes off the top of your pay stub is to your health insurance company. So imagine instead of paying that to your health insurance company, whose CEO makes $20 million a year, instead you paid a little bit more in taxes.
Your taxes going up, listen closely. And the
Here's the thing, though. The problem with raising taxes, there's no incentive for that. Nobody wants to pay more in taxes. Seriously. I mean, do you guys understand what's happening here? Do you guys get it? Do you guys see? We're all living a reality show. Whoa. Everybody's always acting their role. And all our lives in stereo. Whoa. So we're all living a reality show. See a picture as it's banging on the screen. I don't even know what's real or fantasy, but realize all our minds, truth behind lies, led us to believe we're all living a reality show. Everyone is always acting their role. Oh my God.
Communist wave is spreading wide, and now they're setting up watch posts all around the country.
So Tiny Lion Gaming is asking, bro, can we do it tomorrow's teachings tonight? I think I'm down for that. Yeah, Democrats are corrupt and Democrats are dumb. That sounds about right. I'm not saying the Republicans are look, I'm not going to staunchly defend the Republicans. The Republicans have pissed me off quite a bit too. That's why I voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. Trump was not your traditional Republican, and he was a big middle finger to the Democrat establishment. Of course I'm going to vote for Trump because I love a giant middle finger to my, I guess, enemies. I don't really consider the Democrats my enemies. I just consider the Democrats annoying and people that just shouldn't have power. And that's about it, you know? That's just the way I see it. But yeah, Donald Trump's the man, dude. Pink Brony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Brony Club. I'm gonna keep on fapping down in West Hollywood. You better watch out or else I'm gonna say. You better watch out or else I'm gonna say. Yeah, dude, Trump's the man, dude. I agree with that.
AOC has New York locked down.
Are you still a member of Democratic Socialists of America?
Of the New York City chapter.
The New York City chapter, not.
It's still the. Okay, so somehow that makes it better. Are you still part of the Democratic Socialists of America? The New York City chapter. So you're still a Democratic Socialist. You're basically still a moron. Okay, that's good to know.
The National.
But AOC is windows.
Whether you're a part of the national one or not, it doesn't matter. You're still a part of the Democratic Socialists of America. Not a good thing. Hey, thank you so much, Annie, for the clapping seal for 250 joules. Mucho apreciado. As you know, we always appreciate little gifts here and there on the show. Always keeps us good. John House says...
shopping for the Oval Office, so she's hedging a bit.
Are you going to run for president?
I mean, I'm focused on winning the midterms. I'm running for Congress right now.
But, I mean, do you see this as...
Even if she did run for presidency, she would lose in a heartbeat. Nobody would vote. I mean, there would be idiots. There's always an idiot somewhere. But she would be just as unpopular as fucking, what's her name? Skamala, you know?
Something... I know you've said you're open to it. Is it a realistic possibility for you?
I haven't ruled out the possibility, and I'm very humbled to the tremendous amount of support out there.
And running for Senate against Chuck Schumer, is that also something that's possible?
I mean, I think that anything is possible.
But before AOC can head to the Oval, there's more work to do. Francesca Hong's primary is tomorrow in Wisconsin, and AOC still is not in her corner.
You haven't endorsed her. Are you going to?
No, I haven't endorsed in that race. My focus has been in winning back the Congress, winning back the House, and positioning ourselves to have the best chance possible to win the Senate.
And AOC, like Hong, is walking back some of her extreme past statements.
I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke one was crazy.
Woke one was crazy. Okay, that's
And during lockdown, of course, rhetoric in that time is not rhetoric that we would use today. And I'm grateful that these candidates have the opportunity to present who they are to their electorate and what they're campaigning on in this moment.
And Bernie Sanders says, take my card, Hong.
Why don't you support her? Is some of what she supports too extreme for you?
No, raising taxes on the rich, making sure that everybody in Wisconsin or America.
You know, I've never understood this fascination with raise taxes on the rich. Like, why would you want rich people's money to go to the government? Do you really believe that the government would use that money efficiently? Do you really believe that? No, they wouldn't. If you tax the rich, those rich people typically reinvest in other businesses. They're smart with their money. The government is dumb with money. So if you raise taxes and you give the government more money, they're just going to find more stupid ways to launder it. You know what? The government's a black hole. The moment you give the government any sort of cash, they're going to screw something up. They always do. The government doesn't innovate. They just try to control. That's all they do. This is why I don't trust the government. This is why I don't believe that the government is the answer. The Democratic Socialists honestly believe that the government's the answer. It's not. It's ridiculous, man.
America has health care as a right. Sounds quite reasonable to me.
Bernie Sanders got the entire socialist movement started, but now the establishment wants him to hang up his cleats.
He was a socialist. He didn't register as a Democrat. So I don't know. When he was a socialist, I was a Democrat. I'm still a Democrat. Is he one now? I have no idea. I do know that maybe he has some animosity because he tried twice to get the Democratic nomination for president, and he failed rather spectacularly both times. But
I mean, truth be told, Bernie didn't fail anybody. The Democrat establishment basically pushed Bernie out. And by the way, I think Bernie Sanders is a complete moron. I really do. And you don't want a communist. You don't want a communist in power, because a communist in power is basically an abuser of power, in my opinion, based on my understanding of history. But whatever. Yeah, and truth be told, I don't trust the government, because the government doesn't make anything better. And I think that's the one thing that people need to understand is government doesn't improve anything. It just never does.
You know, I can't do anything about these people. If they had never in their life, they never run anything bigger than their mouth.
Bernie's prodigies are taking over the Democratic Party, I should say. Not everyone is happy with the new blood coming in.
I think that
I don't think anybody should be happy in the Democratic Party to have these socialists come in. They need to have their own party. They need to have the Socialist Party of America. Don't ruin the Democrat Party is already basically ruined. You know what? Go ahead. Because it just makes the Democrats look like even more of a joke to have all these freaking socialists come on in. It pisses me off just because I know how stupid socialism is, and you can't underestimate the stupidity of the youth, by the way. The youth will find a way to be dumb. They always do. Everybody's been young once, and we all know how stupid we were when we were young. Very.
The progressive left, they're very tech people. I think they've come up with an AI random stupid idea generator. And I think the stupid idea generator can think of things that humans can't, like canceling Thanksgiving or being against interracial dating. So I'm just waiting to the next stupid idea AI generator that comes out, spits out of that.
Quite a line, but not every Democrat's ready to go full-blown communist. They want to unplug that bad idea generator.
I think short term, you have seen a surge for the quote-unquote DSA, Democratic Socialists in the...
Yeah, the Democratic Socialists of America are going to ruin not only the Democratic Party, but if they have any ounce of power, they're going to ruin America. Socialism screws everything up. This is why we're not a socialist country. And if we ever do become a socialist country, we're screwed. America's cooked.
Party. But I think that is short term. I think it's unsustainable. The DSA wants to do away with the presidency. They want to do away with the Supreme Court. They want to do away with the U.S. Senate. They want no borders.
Laugh out loud. Hey, look what I did today.
Smiley face emoji.
Yeah, I saw that everybody give a shout out to Mandy for becoming a channel member on the show, man. I appreciate that, Mandy. Once again, everybody give a shout out to Mandy for becoming a channel member. If you guys can, feel free to send a gift during the live stream. The more gifts we have, the better. We're really, we're pretty much a fan-funded channel at the end of the day. So whenever I'm doing a live stream, it's all fan-funded. So any gifts, any super chats you guys want to send, it really does help the channel in a lot of ways. So I appreciate everybody's efforts. Even simply liking the stream really helps us out on the algorithm. So the simple act of double tapping your screen to like the stream really does help. So I appreciate all you guys. But yeah, Mandy, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. I really appreciate that big time. Oh, you're from the UK? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're from Australia. I forgot about that. You're from Australia. That's right. Hell yeah. Everybody give a shout out once again to Mandy. We're going to keep your super chat up on the screen for a little bit just because I appreciate it. I'm going to replay it too.
Laugh out loud. Hey, look what I did today. Smiley face emoji.
But thank you again, Mandy. I really do appreciate you becoming a channel member. Let's keep rolling.
All unworkable policies.
Democrats have a lot to clean up in their tent. They think that their shiny new toy will be their savior, but they have to get over the end zone first.
This is about the Democrats once again fumbling the football on the 2-yard line when they have a chance to make great gains, but being so woke, I don't know if you want to call it woke one, woke.
Oh, it's woke. What the Democrats are doing is woke, and I rarely agree with Joe Scarborough. I think Joe Scarborough is a moron, but he is right about one thing. Democrats are getting a little too woke.
Woke 2 or woke 3, but being too woke to call out the obvious. I swear to God. It's crazy.
I love it, dude. Thank you, Joe Scarborough, for calling out the woke.
That we're even having this conversation.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox.
Amazing. Just truly amazing, dude. The Democratic Socialists of America, they want to take down Trump. I don't think they're going to be able to. They don't have that ability. Most people think the Democratic Socialists of America are insane. I love how they're saying Ennis Freedom declares for WNBA draft in protest of trans athletes.
Welcome back.
He's not protesting trans athletes. What he's protesting is the fact that, look, if you are a biological male and you're getting into women's sports, you have a distinct advantage naturally through genetics over that woman. Yeah, dude, this is such a misguided, this is such, CBS News, of course, CBS News is one of the wokest, news organizations out there. They're just another mainstream media bullshit outlet. Oh God, Michael Saylor's trying to promote Bitcoin again.
So let me.
He's going to be like, hey, don't buy a house, buy this fake ass digital currency called Bitcoin. And because, you know, it's totally a Ponzi scheme, but that's okay. Don't buy a house, buy Bitcoin.
Tell you why you shouldn't buy a house.
Not financial advice.
Most people are told that the way to build wealth when they leave university.
Look at the arrogance of this man. Dude, Michael Saylor is an arrogant narcissist, in my opinion. Allegedly.
And they get into the working world is to buy a house.
Mandy says, Yuri, that's not the government's fault. And again, it failed in Australia and people still commit. Oh, wow. Yeah, I love how all these liberals seem to understand how the world works, when in all reality, they don't understand political systems for shit. It's fucking annoying.
Is that a good strategy to build and become wealthy in your view?
The only way that it's a good strategy is you're buying the house in a jurisdiction where the property taxes are manageable. So you need to buy it in a place where the property tax doesn't eat you alive, or the maintenance expense don't eat you alive. And yeah, you can generate some wealth, but if I flip that and you end up taking a 7% mortgage and you get massive tax and massive insurance expenses, that same investment works out the other way and it crushes you to death. A better idea generally is
I feel like there's something going on outside. BRB. All right, let's keep I love the comment section though. It says like Michael Saylor's a scam artist, classic do as I say, not as I do. Volatility of the stock market, Bitcoin, hold my beer. Dude, I hate Michael. I'm trying not to hate anybody, but Michael Saylor's a piece of crap, dude. He is a snake oil salesman, squared, cubed. You name it, dude. The guy's a snake oil salesman, straight up.
commercial real estate because you can pass all the expenses through to your tenants. The average person shouldn't have to be a real estate expert. They shouldn't have to be a tax expert. That's why Bitcoin is such a compelling thing. That's why people that believe in Bitcoin are passionate about it, because why shouldn't the typical person just be able to take their money, put it into an asset which appreciates in value 15% a year, and they don't have to worry about it?
What about the S&P 500? They could just put it into the stock market, right?
That has returned 15% over the past 6 years. Over 100 years, maybe 10%.
Every year.
And if the US dollar is losing 7% of its value in scarce desirable terms over the course of 100 years, and you're getting 10%, you're getting a 2 or 3% boost in return for accepting the volatility of...
Well, guess what? At least a home appreciates in value over time because, one, it's actually useful. Real estate is useful. Bitcoin is not. If you look at Bitcoin as a pure product and you look at real estate as a pure product, Bitcoin is a string of data and a home is a place to live. I would argue that the home is naturally more valuable than the Bitcoin because the Bitcoin is Ponzi money. God, Michael Saylor's the greatest snake oil salesman of all time, dude. Oh, Alex Stein did a tribute to Dr. Anthony Fauci. Let's watch.
I miss you doing the needle.
Oh, no. Everybody, please protect this man, Mr. Alex Stein. We love him.
Do a test on the beagle.
Next speaker is Alex Stein.
Guys, I have some terrible news. Dr. Anthony Fauci is retiring. I'm sure you heard the bad news. And
Wait, is he? Is Fauci fully retired? Or fully
It's going to be a nightmare, especially with the monkeypox epidemic. And you know who I am. I'm Primetime 99 Alex Stein. I'm the greatest city council rapper of all time. Mayor Buns, don't give me that look. Come on, smile. Give me a little smile. Don't give me a little smile. You know you're happy to see me. I'm on the grind all the time. I know my man Tony's here. He shares the same name as Tony Fauci. And let me tell you something, Anthony. Tony, I'm going to miss you so much. And all...
This is going to be good, dude. This is going to be good.
All of us could be the victim of a serious virus. Dr. Fauci saved our life. If it wasn't for Dr. Fauci, none of us would be
Dr. Fauci's an American hero.
Here. So I prepared a little
Dude, this is so funny, dude. I love it.
something for you, Dr. Fauci.
Whoa, is Asmongold Gold permabanned? Has he like is he like officially banned on Twitch? We'll have to figure that out, dude.
Dr. Fauci, what can I say? Dr. Fauci, you made me gay. Dr. Fauci, I love you so much. Dr. Fauci, I need to touch.
Oh my god, dude, this is amazing. Holy crap, dude. Primetime 99, Alex Stein, the greatest rapper of all time. Amazing. Freaking amazing, dude. Let's keep going.
Dr. Fauci, please don't leave. Dr. Fauci, I ripped out my weed. Dr. Fauci, stick it in my butt. Dr. Fauci, you made me nut. Dr. Fauci, stick the needle. Dr. Fauci, test it on the beagle. Myocarditis from the homie Titus. You saved us from the virus, and I'm always on the grind. Cause I'm number 99. One more Fauci, ouchie in my vein. Vaccinate for the Ukraine.
I mean, low key, this shit's fire, dude. Low key, this shit is fire. Let's keep
And you know it kills the pain. Then I like to go in.
God, dude, I love everything about this man. And I'm very proud to say that I got to be a caller on this man's show, by the way. It was amazing. I told him that I'm gay for the IPA, and I loved it. His reaction was, I love Alex Stein, dude. He's funny as shit. Let's keep going. Dr. freaking Fauci, bro. God damn it.
One more booster in my coaster. Got the new like a rooster. Let me feel that flavor like roller noodles. I'm a tasting on a poodle. I'm in the booth. One more time, this is the truth. Dr. Fauci. What can I say, Dr. Fauci? You made me gay, Dr.
Dude, if he says gay for the IPA during this rap, I demand all the credit for this rap song because I was the one who told him that I'm gay for the IPA, and I hope he steals that line from me, and I hope he's like, I'm gay for the IPA, dude. I hope he says he's gay for the IPA. I love it, dude. And he's just like, I don't even know what to say, dude. And he's speechless. This is great, though, dude. I love Alex Stein so much.
Fauci, stick it in my butt, Dr. Fauci. You made me nut, Dr. Fauci. I love you so much, Dr. Fauci. I'll miss your touch. Please don't leave us. We need you so much, Dr. Fauci. Please let me touch on your booty. I miss it.
This is gold, dude. This might be the greatest rap song of all time, dude. He's like, he's probably gay for the... Hey, dude. As long as Alex Stein's gay for me and Dr. Fauci, I don't care, dude.
All day, vaccinate me straight or gay. Dr. Fauci in the magazine.
The dances, dude. The one thing I love about Alex Stein is he does the... He does the shittiest. I love his shitty dance moves. They're amazing, dude. He knows what he's doing. My man knows exactly what he's doing, and I fucking love it, dude. I love it.
Dr. Fauci's got the best vaccine. Mayor Mons, we're having fun. Dr. Fauci, don't get the gun. I miss you so dang much. Dr. Fauci, please let me touch. I'ma miss you doing.
You know what's crazy is I don't know how he can do this without like, dude, I could not do what he's doing without laughing every fucking sentence, because that shit is so fucking funny that he's saying. Like, I don't know how he does it without laughing. The dude is an expert actor. Please, Hollywood, sign this man. Actually, you know what? Hollywood, don't, because you're a corrupt organization. Independent studios, sign this man up to be your actor.
The needle. Do a test on a beagle. I love you. Myocarditis, sudden adult death syndrome. That's from the climate. If the climate gets better, less people will get sudden adult death syndrome. I love you, Tony. Sarah Gonzalez says hi. Primetime 99, Alex Stein. Instagram. Thank you, guys. You guys are a great crowd. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Sharon overall.
The rights of the non-smoker have been disregarded for decades, and it's time for non-smokers' rights to be addressed.
She had to follow that, dude. Oh my God, dude. He never did. I love the comment section saying it 2 years in, 0 arrests, dude. Did they ever address the non-smokers? Number 99 on the grind, dude. God, I love it. Dude, these videos are amazing. Thank you, Alex Stein. You're a fucking national treasure. I love you so much, dude. That was amazing, dude. Annie, absolutely. That was so fucking amazing. E.T. says he gives prop to Fauci. Mandy said, when did he do this? This was posted about 3 hours ago. So I'm assuming he probably did it some point today and then finally was able to upload it. Maybe he did it like an hour ago. I don't know. But he it says he uploaded it 3 hours ago to his channel, and that was freaking gold, dude. I love you, Alex Stein. You're a national treasure. You're the best, dude. Alex frickin' Stein. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a huge YouTube monetization change.
Spicy meatball just dropped.
Now, surprisingly, I still qualify for the watch time hours because I got like 43,000 watch time hours over the last year, because I do a lot of live streaming, and that's been one of the main reasons I have so many watch time hours, is because of my obsession with doing live streams. Dude, I love my boy Ty Lord said, can you restart it? I was kidding. That's so funny, dude. I love it. All right, dude. So the monetization change is interesting. So the new requirements to be monetized to have ads automatically play on your channel is now 8,000 watch hours. But I am kind of curious to see what Penguin Z0, I can't remember his actual real name, but let's see what he says.
From YouTube here, they made an announcement that changes will be coming to the YouTube Partner Program starting early 2020.
I mean, luckily I still qualify by all metrics, because I mean, over the last year, like I said, I've had 43,000 watch time hours, and 8,000 is the bare minimum. But I think once you're in the program, you're just in the program. I may at some point not qualify for for YouTube short ads potentially. I'm not too sure.
2026.
But I'll still qualify for long form ads, so that'll be nice.
7. The partner program on YouTube is how channels earn money through the platform. And beginning next year, they are doubling the viewership requirements for new creators to earn.
That really is kind of surprising. And 20 million qualified short views, like, I emphasize or. That's crazy, dude. Granted, I mean, hopefully some of my short videos go a little viral.
Earn ad and premium revenue through the partner program, and also doubling the watch hours over a 12-month period that are required to enter the partner program. You have to hit one of the two, either getting the required eligible views, which is now 20 million shorts views, or getting 8,000 watch hours on long-form content. Both of these have been doubled from the previous requirement, which was 4K watch hours or 10 million.
That is kind of crazy, to be honest. That Oh, Charlie from Moist Critical got you.
Shorts views in the given time period, which is 90 days for shorts or 12 months for long form. That is, of course, coupled with the 1,000 subscriber requirement. So you have to hit 1,000 subscribers, then one of those two metric milestones there in order to be eligible for the partner program. This has caused a lot of ripples and a lot of conversation around it. And I think
it's a little ridiculous. I think that 8,000 watch hours, dude, that's... I mean, look, I can do it because I stream a lot. I do a lot of live streaming, so it's very easy for me to get those numbers. But for people who are actually making pre-recorded videos and doing short videos, I mean, I feel like this is going to cause a lot of people to want to try to go to X or try to go to or Rumble. I think this is just going to, I mean, this might cause a mass exodus to YouTube, and that scares me, man. I like having people on YouTube. I don't want people to go away.
I think a very largely overlooked reason behind this is buckle your seatbelt. I know you're probably tired of me taking you on this wild ride here. AI. YouTube is experiencing a flood, really a fucking pandemic, a plague of AI slop that is just truly infecting the platform with STDs, the likes of which you could never even fathom. And it is completely contaminated shorts. It is also really going hog wild on long form too. And none of it's real, and they have been farming the partner program for every doubloon they could possibly hit out of it, like fucking Mario jumping into a coin block. And the AI slop sometimes gets taken down, not always. The YouTube methodology for identifying these channels is not ideal. I just covered the Kurt Sagat stuff like 2 days ago now. But these AI channels are infinitely...
I mean, luckily, I'm not an AI channel. Thank goodness. You know, so I'll still be a part of the program, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really... The funny thing is I wasn't making a lot of money from short videos anyway. I make most of my money from my long form videos in the monetization program. So, I mean, I still make some okay money, though, on shorts, so I wouldn't mind still being monetized on shorts. That would be nice.
Springing up because they take actually seconds to make. And they are hitting these milestones, the previous milestones, very quickly. Obviously, inorganically, not authentically, and a lot of times it is just fraudulent. But they have been able to squeeze a lot of money from the YouTube Partner Program, and I imagine that's played a pretty big role in YouTube now upping the requirements to hopefully combat that. But in doing so, with this helicopter dicking of the requirements here, they are also cock-slapping all of the very real people who are trying to grind to reach the milestones to be eligible for the partnership program, and this makes it significantly more difficult. It has doubled, which is very, very hard for channels that are just beginning. And there's quite a bit of...
So what I think needs to be done is this. I think that YouTube needs to detect these AI slop channels, and there just needs to be a huge warning label on any video that it detects as AI, saying that this is AI, probably fake shit. Keep that in mind. And I think that would actually, and you know what? People could opt to be like, I don't want to see any AI shit, or I want to see limited AI stuff. I think that would be fair. Because I don't think they should take down the AI slop channels per se. Because some people, unfortunately, might like that shit. I don't, but some people might. You know, I say it should just be kind of a free for all. But yeah, there's a lot of AI. There's a huge AI takeover. Yeah. I'm not a really big fan of those AI robot voices either, because they just don't have any soul. You just don't feel any soul behind those voices at all, and that's the problem. You know, it's a huge problem.
I want to blabber about there. Because maybe this does have like a positive effect on stopping so many of these AI slop factories from springing up all over the place. Because the requirements are much heftier. So maybe this does prove to be a valuable weapon against this menace here, this pariah. I doubt it'll be like Excalibur fully defeating it, because they can obviously just keep pumping out endless amounts here, and eventually...
Yeah, no, I think I'm not against AI per se. I think AI is great for helping to make like thumbnails and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely like using actually, you know what? I got to ask the question to Google real quick. Google, is it okay to use AI to generate backgrounds for YouTube thumbnails? Okay, so it says yes, it is completely fine. It is completely okay to use AI for YouTube thumbnail backgrounds. YouTube does not prohibit AI-generated background graphics, and many creators use a hybrid approach, using AI for fast concepts and backgrounds while adding human touches for text and composition. No disclosure needed. YouTube synthetic, potentially misleading, no other penalty. Keep it hybrid. Use the AI for the background scene, but place your real photo. Cut out our custom text over it manually. Never let AI generate. Okay, yeah, perfect. I use AI to remove the background behind me, and I use AI to generate a background. I generate the text in Photopia. Is that cool? Oh, it's saying that I could slightly blur my AI background in Photopia. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur to create artificial depth of field and make yourself pop. That's not a bad idea. Match the lighting. Use adjustment layers like curves and hue saturation on your cutout to match the color, temperature, and lighting of the generated AI background. Always export as a high quality JPEG. Keep the file size under the... Okay. Like to optimize this further, let me know. I mean, so far the thumbnails that I've created have really worked for each video that I've made, so it seems to work out overall. I like it.
Claw their way to the requirements for the partnership program to make money off it, but maybe it takes them too long. YouTube finds out and, smites them. I guess that's possible too, though I find it unlikely. But I also think this pushes normal people that are trying to pursue a YouTube channel and try and make it to the partnership program, reaching these milestones. I think it's kind of nudging them, shoving them down the path of considering AI slop as well as like a supplement to the content they're making. So that way they can continue to like churn out.
Yeah, I mean, this might actually push away legitimate creators. Like I said, luckily, on average, I have about 43,000 watch time hours a year because of how many live videos that I do. I do a lot of lives. So at the end of the day, it just ends up being like I get a lot of watch time hours as a result because of it. So it ends up working out in the end. But I do feel bad for those creators that just want to make pre-recorded videos and don't want to do live streams. They shouldn't have to be forced to go down that path.
Out content to eventually, hopefully, breach the threshold that's required now, because it's significantly less likely if you have like 3 or 4 videos that you spend a lot of time on and maybe one pops off, like getting maybe 2 million views in shorts here. Like, you're still not even close. And getting a video to get 2 million views from out of fucking nowhere, pulled out of the ether, pulled out of your ass from a brand new startup channel, like, that's really rare. That's some, like, unicorn type shit.
Yeah.
But even if that does happen, you're still not even, like, scratching at the nipple there on the titty to start suckling from the partnership program. 20 million shorts views in 90 days, that's not easy. That's pretty cutthroat. So I think creators will feel incentivized to start using AI as well and adding that to their channel in order to keep churning out tons of videos and hope that some of them start to pop off. But even if they don't, the volume of those like lesser view videos may eventually help them grind out the milestones required to reach the threshold. So I do think that this will have an adverse effect of leading to even more AI content from normal people trying to reach this requirement. I also think that this will stifle a lot of new channels who want to...
Well, here's the thing. I will admit, I do love using short videos to get more subscribers. So I will say this, if there's going to be people who are not incentivized to make short videos, I mean, I'm going to be incentivized because I want more subs for my long form content. So at the end of the day, it all kind of works out somehow, some way. But I see where he's coming from on this one, man. It's very difficult. It's not an easy task.
Should go on like creative endeavors with content, because making, you know, creative or specific niche content for a channel is kind of a death sentence here. It's very unlikely you're going to hit these milestones with something that is specific to a niche that you're interested in or like a topic that you're interested in. It will instead push people to be more focused on viral content and just like really sterile, generic, formulaic content as opposed to like passionate, creative ones, because you're more likely to have the, you know, viral bait content, you know, top 10 reptiles who could beat a Hercules beetle in a head-to-head fight on Fortnite no build or whatever. Or Tung Sahur did.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of slop content. That really sucks. And yeah, I don't know. I think YouTube might have to, I don't know. They're kind of a rock and a hard place at the moment, it feels like. I mean, hey, luckily though, I mean, if I streamed horizontal, I could run ads. I mean, I do. So I run ads on my, so here's the thing, Tiny Lion Gaming. I run ads on my horizontal pre-recorded videos. So that helps out quite a bit. So I actually make money on that. Oh, and I can run ads on vertical as well. I just choose not to. So I deliberately choose not to run any ads when I'm doing these vertical lives because I'd rather try not to interrupt the viewer experience, essentially. And what I really want to do is if people really like it, they can, you know, send gifts, they can send super chats and gifts. That actually does help quite a bit. So it's really up to everybody at that point.
What to the K-pop demon hunters? So I feel like there is also a chance that this change further pushes people away from committing a lot of time and energy and effort into talking about specific interests or specific communities, and we'll see kind of the end of like these grassroots channels that are all about like one specific thing that isn't necessarily a mainstream topic, in favor of all of them pursuing like the stuff that is proven to get caught up in the algorithm and pushed heavily, which is, you know, like the listicles, Mr. Beast style, that kind of thing. Like, let's take, for example, animators, which is one I always like to talk about because animation takes a lot of time, in a lot of cases, a lot of money, and it is not something that you can just infinitely, you know, spit out, unless, of course...
You know what I realized? I need to go around town, and I just need to start taking photos of different things. Instead of using AI backgrounds, I could just use actual photos of real things. I could go into the woods and take like a ton of fucking photos in the woods. And then I can take those specific photos and use those as a background for my thumbnails. That's something I didn't think about. Because I got a great camera on my phone. There's no reason for me not to use it, you know. But yeah, no, I already run ads through all my horizontal videos and stuff like that, and I make money from that, which I like. I think it's fun. Hey, we're not talking about the piss bottle collection, okay? We're not talking about that. We don't talk about it. We're not going there. We're not doing it. Give me a second, my brony bros. You're my pink brony bros. And we dance at the gay club. Oh my God. Oh, dude, the bottle collection, it's big, dude. Give me 1 second, you guys. Give me just a few more moments. We're not talking about the collection, you guys. We're not talking about it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it, bro. I'm just checking something, you guys. Sorry I'm so slow. Hold on. Just, getting a couple things squared away, you guys. Sorry about that. It's been a long road getting from there to here. It's been a long time. Anyway.
You're using AI for it, which, again, this would incentivize you to do, to start just doing AI animations or something, because those take seconds, whereas like a normal hand-drawn real cartoon, that takes a long time. Many, many, many hours. So let's take animators, for example. With these new requirements, 20 million shorts views in 90 days. Oh, buddy, hooey. Hope you're ready for that.
I mean, I just think that here's the problem. What's going to happen is YouTube Shorts is going to be filled with slop. It's going to be filled with my channel, because what I do is I do long form videos and then I use AI to edit my long form videos. It's still me. I just don't do any of the video editing. I allow the AI to do the video editing. But yeah, as far as it goes, man, I think that it's a little crazy. It's just a little bit crazy, dude. There's going to be a lot of short videos that you're going to have to pump out just to reach the 20 million. I had to redo a few of the SEO changes, the search engine optimization changes, just to make it to where my short videos could be more seen out there in the ether. So it's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, I'm kind of done watching this video. That was kind of a good video. Whew. Crazy, man. Oh.
Yo, AV, well done, bro. Well done. Not quite smack off worthy, but definitely way better than your average Hall of Fame speech. Way to make it a horrible day for Kraft and Belichick, and therefore an amazing day for pretty much everybody else. Just when I thought there was no way you could be any more brass,
that was amazing,
any more clutch, even in retirement, you were somehow even more automatic than you were.
Adam Vinatieri is one of the greatest kickers of all time. And by the way, Vinny, thank you for saving my boy back in the day with those field goals. Appreciate you, bro.
Even before.
He was Tom Brady's kicker back in the day.
Rock on, brah. Don't ever change. That was a Hall of Fame speech for the ages. Yo, AV, well done, bro. Well done.
Amazing. Okay, this video is saying that the Democratic Party is now the DSA party. Absolutely. They've completely become the Socialist Party of America.
I had some hot takes, some bad takes on Twitter, but when you're a business owner running a restaurant during COVID, you are trying to pay bills as stated. You're putting feelings out there to the world, but I've evolved, I've learned. I think it's more dishonest not to learn.
Far left Wisconsin.
Well, I think the thing is, most of your customers probably think you're a far left lunatic. That's the problem. You know, if you're owning a business, you don't want to go too crazy. You know, you don't want to go too crazy down the politic rabbit hole. You don't. I wouldn't even consider myself that political, to be honest. I have my own, I mean, not going to lie, I'm not. I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to my opinions, but whatever. Oh, did we get new members? Now, I know we got Mandy as a member. That's great. If you guys want to become channel members, though, that really does help the channel a lot. So anybody who wants to become a channel member, it's always welcome. Let's keep going.
Gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong with that last-ditch effort to clean up her past comments before tomorrow's primary. But the Wall Street Journal editorial board is urging voters to forget about the tweets and focus on her wanting a 17% income tax in public groceries. Now, that would be on top of federal taxes as well. Now, Hong also wants to abolish ICE, defund the police, push government-run socialized health care for all, create state-run grocery stores, and allow transitioning treatments for minors. Sounds like a plan.
Yikes. So let me get this straight. Medicare for all, defund the police, abolish ICE, state-run grocery stores. What the fuck? Permanent vote by mail. Pause AI data center construction. Dude, these people are idiots. I'm just going to put it out there. This is why socialists should never have power, because they are too stupid to have power. Because the moment you give them power, they're going to implement all these shitty ideas that they're talking about. You don't want these ideas. These are stupid. Defund the police. In fact, remember, they wanted to abolish the police. So, truth be told, the Democratic Socialists of America, you guys are terrible. You guys are still, the Democratic Socialists of America, you're a racist party. That's what I think. That's my opinion. And yeah, I hope that none of you have power over anybody, because the moment you have power over anybody, you guys are going to abuse it. The first people to abuse power are communists and socialists. It's the pattern I noticed. It's the pattern I noticed, man. And noticing is half the battle. Let's keep going.
Well, some of those points are pretty consistent with her past pledges, especially her attacks against law enforcement. All of that appears in lockstep with the broader DSA platform, which critics say is so detached from reality that even the co-chair has trouble explaining a key pillar of it, high taxes.
Do you believe there should be millionaires in this country?
I'm less concerned about millionaires, more concerned about billionaires. We do believe in taxing the hell out of millionaires.
We do believe in taxing the hell out of millionaires. These people are so fucking dumb. Democratic Socialists, man, like the most low IQ group in the history of history. Socialists are seriously socialists. Hear me now. You guys will abuse power. I see it all the time. I don't want this to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's just human nature. The person who believes in socialism traditionally believes in controlling others.
Co-chair of the DSA, shouldn't you be more specific than just taxing the hell out of something? What exactly do you mean?
So again, it's democracy, right? And we have to look at what we need to spend and what we need.
Oh God, these people have no brain. These people have no brain. What are they doing? What are these Democratic Socialists doing?
Harris, there are a lot of sound bites like that. And if you want a 17% tax, she's now distanced herself from that. But I was doing some math, and when you combine that with federal taxes, that's an effective tax rate of...
Thank you, Joseph Stetson. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it, man.
54%.
Well, as she says, what I really don't understand about this is they don't even know the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire. They don't know where job creation comes from. They don't.
Well, it's because they don't have an understanding of economics. If socialists understood how economics actually works, like if they understood economics principles at all, they wouldn't be socialists. It's that simple. Communists and socialists would stop being socialists if they actually comprehended basic economic principles. They want the problem with socialists and communists is they want an equality of outcome, when in all reality that goes against reality. How about this? Here's a simple analogy. A simple example. Let's say me and my buddy Ty Lord. Let's say we go out and pick blackberries, right? Let's say we're going out to pick some blackberries. I happen to pick 400 blackberries, whereas Ty Lord picked only 20. This is just an example, Ty Lord. I'm only using you for the benefit of an example. But let's say Ty Lord was being lazy that day, only picked 20 blackberries, and I picked 400 blackberries. Now, what would be fair? Well, here's what would be fair in reality. What would be fair is that I get to keep all 400 of my blackberries, put them in the freezer, and eat them for a later date, right? But what the socialists and the communists would tell me to do with those 400 blackberries is they would say, look at that poor Tylord guy over there. He only has 20 berries. And then here I am saying, well, Tylord was fucking being lazy and he wasn't picking it. He barely did anything. I was the one doing all the work. And then what happens is the Democratic Socialists are like, shame on you. You're a bigot. And then what they do is then they take their grubby paws into my bucket of blackberries, and then they give my blackberries to Tylord, who did nothing at all. So that way it was a redistribution of the berries. That is what communists believe. That is basically redistribution of wealth in a very simple example. It's where hardworking people who actually do something with their lives have to basically supplement people who are not doing anything with their lives. And Tylord, I'm sorry I used you as an example. I was just trying to think of somebody, and it's easier to think about you and I in a scenario because I love you, brother. ET says, I take both of your berries. But yeah, in that example, and by the way, that was based on a fictional story. I was trying to just make it to where you guys could visualize how idiotic equality of outcome actually is. Because in that equality of outcome situation, now I only have like 200 something blackberries, and Tylord has 200 and something blackberries, but he didn't do anything in that scenario, right? Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to say is redistribution of wealth is actually extremely unethical. You're basically stealing from people who are working hard. And that's a problem. And that's why in communist countries, nobody wants to work hard because there's no incentive to. The moment that you get ahead is the moment that you get everything taken from you. That's not good. And that's why the one thing that communism and socialism lacks is incentives. There are no incentives in a communist and socialist society. That's a problem. And when there's no incentives, people stop giving a shit, and then the society crumbles. That's why you don't see a lot of successful communist or socialist societies, because redistribution of wealth is actually a really stupid idea. There you go. I gave you guys a little bit of an economics education. Either way, socialism is ridiculous. Socialism is actually not fair at all. Socialism and communism are actually the most unfair ideas in the world. It's not fair that I do all this hard work and have majority of that work taken away from me, all because some lazy twat somewhere was being lazy. That sucks. Hopefully my crazy rant made some sense. I'm loving angels instead when I'm feeling weak and my pain walks down the one-way street. I look above and I know I'll always be blessed with love. Well, as the feeling grows, she breathes flesh to my bones. When love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. You guys ever listen to Robbie Williams, man? Robbie Williams is a stud, dude. Freaking amazing. Okay, let's keep going.
Don't know what happens when people leave their state and how you're going to pay for all the things that you promise that are free. Now, Mom Donnie in New York is learning that. He's learning it the hard way, his city. But really and truly, her biggest problem for me, anyway, not the woman there, but Francesca Hong, if you will, because she's in the primary tomorrow in Wisconsin, is what she said about President Trump. Like, these people are a little bizarre at times.
Well, yeah, these Democratic Socialists, of course they're bizarre at times. Their entire worldview is so warped because they want equality of outcome. You can't have equality of outcome. That's not how reality works. That's not how it should work. In fact, you can argue that equality of outcome is actually a very evil idea. That you don't want an equality of outcome because not everybody's putting in the same input. Here's the thing. Input, output. If you put in a certain amount of effort, the input, you get a certain output. You can't just rig the output because somebody isn't putting in as much of an input. I believe in social safety nets, don't get me wrong. I'm not against social safety nets, just to let you know. But I'm against... first off, I'm against demolishing the police. I think that's such a bad idea, dude. Getting rid of the police is stupid. That's just really it's a low IQ idea, dude. Thank you, Mom. Well, let's keep watching.
And this is what matters to me. Quote, she talked about being in the restaurant business during COVID. In the restaurant industry, when we are about to get rid of something, we say we'll 86 it. And I say that's about blanking time, we 86 Trump. Now, when you consider, and look, there's video of it. You have to bleep it. When you consider that this is somebody who actually wants to lead, who wants to be a member.
I honestly think a lot of these Democratic socialists are sociopaths. I really do. I seriously believe that. I just think that when I look at these guys, I see nothing behind their eyes. I'm not saying that every Democratic socialist is like that, but I swear, there's a lot of them. I don't know what it is about people who believe in stupid ideas, but they tend to have nothing going on behind their eyes. I feel like I'm staring into a soulless creature. It's really weird. And I just avoid them. Those types of soulless creatures, man, I avoid. I'm like, nope, I don't want to talk to you, man. You're scaring me. You're freaking me out, bro. I don't like it. Well, that's just the way I see it, though. That's my belief. My philosophy. It's my philosophy. Give me a second. Well, give me one more second, you guys. Oh, just a few more seconds. Couple processes I got to do on this end. Sorry about that. Frog Eat Frog says Garza. Eyes are the windows of the soul, says Tishley. Hell yeah, dude. And we got Annie saying, hey. Tits out, Garza. No, I'm keeping my shirt on today, folks. Keeping my shirt on today. Gotta stay straight, bruh. Gotta stay straight, bruh. Okay, I don't act very straight. I act pretty effeminate, but that's okay. Oh man, this shit's too funny. All right, let's keep going. Sorry, I just I don't know. I love checking out Reddit, man. Sometimes I just smelling fingers, man. I gotta smell those fingers. Frog eat frog. You know I gotta do what I gotta do. My dog's homework says beautiful eyes, bro. Thank you, my brony bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I gotta keep my eyes pretty. I gotta keep my eyes pretty for you, man. I gotta do it. Everybody says I'm a thirst trap. I'm not really. Nobody says I'm a thirst trap. Nobody says. Maybe Frog Eat Frog thinks I'm a thirst trap, and granted, I understand, brother. I understand.
Member of our government that they want to get rid of, by the way, too. That's some pretty dangerous talk. And it makes me wonder, we're already in an assassination culture. How far are they really willing to go to make their point? No, she doesn't represent everybody. She wants to represent...
Oh, the Democratic Socialists, dude, I think are freaking dangerous. Like, they are radicals. Let's just face it. They are radicals. They are far left radicals. And that's a problem. And the moment the Democrats allow these far left radicals in their party, it's game over for the Democratic Party. Nobody's going to vote for the Democratic Socialists because socialism doesn't work. And people should be aware of that. And if you're not aware of that, I don't know what to tell you.
People of her state. I mean, it's really scary.
It is. And, you know, she claims, oh, you know, it's restaurant language. But to me, 86 means something very different.
James Comer taught us the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I asked James Carville about Hong. This is, of course, he's from the moderate wing. He got Bill Clinton elected. Here's what he said about her.
Look, I think that the progressive left, they're very tech people. I think they've come up with an AI random stupid idea generator. And I think the stupid idea generator can think of things that humans can't, like canceling Thanksgiving or being against interracial dating. So I'm just waiting to the next stupid idea AI generator that's...
Oh, dude, they're not using AI to generate these ideas. They're using stupid college kids and asking them to come up with ideas. The Democratic Socialists of America are basically idiotic college kids who took their professors too seriously. And when their professors were indoctrinating them into the art of socialism and communism, they were like, oh, my professor says it's a good idea. So because I'm a gullible, stupid college kid, I'm going to believe it's also a good idea. So I don't know. I don't know. I find it so annoying that people believe in these stupid ideas. Like, I just don't get it. How do you fall that far down a freaking rabbit hole? It's crazy.
Comes out, spits out of that.
I mean, that's pretty accurate, because saying that you're against Thanksgiving before you say it's your favorite holiday, I could see an AI stupid generator making that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, it's someone who's running for governor of Wisconsin, not AI. This, in part, this shows to me how great the country is. We have a great country that welcomes Korean Americans like her parents, like my parents, to the country, and they can have children here who, on her part, believe in things that would ruin the country. And you can have someone like me on this show who thinks everything she says is wrong. But I think the great part of the country is when they...
Well, it's because everything she is saying is incorrect. Because, look, democratic socialism is a stupid, rotten idea. It's never been a good idea. If you think democratic socialism is a smart idea, I think that you're just a really dumb person. You are. I mean, you're probably smart in other areas of your life, but you're pretty politically stupid. And it's okay to be politically stupid. Not everybody needs to be an expert in everything. But it sucks when these people who have zero concept of economic systems are trying to tell me, who actually has a general idea of what works and what doesn't, what to think and what to do. It's like my dad. My dad's a prime example of somebody who doesn't know shit about finance, but tells me to sell all my stocks. And I'm like, why would I do that? Why would I sell my well-diversified portfolio for cash? Like, my dad has told me to do that before, and I looked at him and I thought, you really are stupid. I was like, for the first time, I mean, not the first time, I've always thought my dad was my dad's financially stupid, I'll admit that. He doesn't know shit about finance. He doesn't know how to preserve wealth. He doesn't know how to... He's against stock. He's against owning stocks for some reason. He says it's unethical. What? It's unethical to own the means of production? My dad would rather have the government own the means of production, because I'm pretty sure low key my dad's a communist. My dad's basically a communist. He would rather have the government own the means of production than he himself own the means of production. If he really wanted to, he could own the means of production by being an investor. It's that simple. If you wish to own the means of production, become an investor. It's so fucking simple. It really isn't difficult, you guys. Oh, well. Frog Eat Frog is pointing upwards to ML. So MLO 4914 says everything is free till you have to pay for it. That's true. That's really true. At the end of the day, we have to pay for this shit. At the end of the day, we got to pay for this shit. It's unfortunate. Yeah, and the problem is the federal government has so many agencies. One of the reasons why America's going broke, the American government keeps going broke and having to print more money, is because we have like 4,000 fucking federal agencies that probably don't need to exist. And I'm pretty sure most of these federal agencies are just doing bullshit with the tax money that they're getting. Instead of paying down our debt, we're basically funding these stupid federal organizations that don't need to exist at all. Like, does anybody think about that in any way, shape, or form? Hello? I don't know. My problem with Democrats, these Democrats just don't understand fucking basic economics. It pisses me off, dude. They go to college for all these years, and yet they still have zero fundamental clue about how economics works. It's insane. I'm not asking them to be a full-on expert, but I'm asking them to have a general idea of what works and what doesn't. It's not that hard. Do a little research, man. But yeah, this is why I listen to rich people. I listen to wealthy people. I don't listen to politicians. I think most politicians are trying to screw me over. And yeah, there's probably a few rich people who just want to grift off me. That's fine. But like, for the most part, I've learned a lot from very wealthy people. And it's one of the reasons why I've become very successful today in running my own personal businesses. Simple as that.
Overwhelmingly reject her at the election, either tomorrow in a general election, because what she is saying doesn't make any sense when you compare it to reality. People have tried these.
Yeah, Brandon Hudson, here's the thing. How the hell am I speaking broadly, dude? Make an argument about what? What sort of argument are we trying to make? I'm basically telling you how this works. I'm telling you that my argument is socialists don't understand basic economics. If they did understand basic economics, they wouldn't be socialists. That's my argument, you loser.
Ideas before.
Let's see. Frog Eat Frog says Garza has a giant hog. I will not. No, that's not true, unfortunately.
Or in places like Europe, in places like Russia, and China, and Venezuela. And not only do they ruin the countries, they lead to millions of people dying. So the idea that we should try socialism.
You tell them, Frog Eat Frog. You let them know how large. Let them know how large and in charge I am. I appreciate it, Brony.
In a country where her parents, my parents, came to this country because of the freedoms, because of free markets, because of limited government.
You're right. It's not an argument. It's a declaration. I'm basically declaring that socialists have zero understanding of capitalism or basic economic structures. Because if they did understand economics in any way, shape, or form, they would realize that socialism is really stupid and it doesn't work in reality and it doesn't offer any incentives to human beings. I'm just making a statement, man. I'm not out to make an argument. I'm out to preach. I'm out to preach on my soapbox what I believe.
And they want to undermine those very principles. I don't understand why. It's not just her, it's Mamdani. All these children of immigrants who came here for those reasons are turning against the country, turning against the reasons their parents wanted to bring them here in the first place.
Oh, yeah, I could give you plenty of examples of ideas that Democratic Socialists have that are completely incorrect in reality. One, redistribution of wealth is a really shitty idea. Doesn't work. It's actually very unethical. In fact, you could argue that redistribution of wealth is the most unfair idea in the world. Two, demolishing the police is a really bad idea. Basically, getting rid of police causes basically no enforcement of any laws, and then of course criminals are going to take advantage of that and start robbing and looting. So Democratic Socialists have a lot of low IQ ideas that they tend to stand behind, and it pisses me off. Another low IQ idea that they have is basically abolish ICE. I think that's stupid. We need ICE. We need to enforce immigration. What's another? Government-run grocery stores. That's another stupid idea. That was tried in many different societies where they implemented communism. Not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Do I do debates? I don't really debate. I basically just yell at you guys. I don't really debate at all. I just yell at you guys what my opinion is. I tell you guys what my opinion is, and then if you don't agree with it, and I think that your argument for your disagreement is stupid, I'll just call you dumb. But seeing worthless on both sides. Socialism is such a great idea. Just like it. Yeah, no, socialism's terrible, dude. It doesn't work. Oh, Frog Eat Frog is saying Motown Philly back again. Do a little East Coast swing. Boys to men. Going off, not too hard, not too soft. I can't remember how that goes, to be honest. Motown Philly back again. Doing a little East Coast swing. I can't remember how that goes, though, to be honest. Dude, freaking Frog Eat Frog is throwing some boys to men at me, dude. I like that. Thank you. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Boys to Men, dude. Such a good band. Such a good group. No, I'm serious. ICE is... First off, we need immigration enforcement. So if we abolish ICE, who is going to enforce immigration law? I think ICE needs some training. Don't get me wrong. I think ICE agents need to be trained on how to fucking handle a firearm. I'll admit that. But I'll tell you what. Give an example of a democratic socialist nation that has failed. Hitler's Germany, Because even though it turned into an authoritarian situation, it started out as with the Nazi Party, which was the national. It was like the National Socialist Party of Germany or something like that. That's basically what the Nazi Party was. And Hitler rose to the ranks through the Nazi Party and then eventually took over Germany in an authoritarian way. So, you know, honestly, socialism of any kind, whether it's democratic socialism or just plain socialism, it all ends up leading to authoritarianism eventually. And then it just turns on its head and totally goes down the shitter. I mean, dude, I'm making some what is wrong with what I'm saying? What I'm saying is pretty accurate. If you read history, Brandon, if you actually read history, you know just as well as I do, the socialism in any form, even if you call it democratic socialism, socialism on its head is truly an unfair, unethical idea. You can call me a fraud all you want, dude. But if you think that democratic socialism is a good idea, then you, sir, are the fraud. If you think democratic socialism is a good idea, you, sir, are a fraud. I'm not the fraud. You're the fraud. You have a degree in history? Well, why the hell do you think that socialism is a good idea? If you're lying to me, because if you actually had a degree in history, you would understand just how deadly socialism and communism are, and that they're not good ideas, and that whenever they're implemented, it doesn't give anybody incentive to do anything. Everybody becomes lazy, and then they become resentful, and then the society around collapses. How the hell, first off, how the hell did you you clearly must have fell asleep. You must have fell asleep in college history class. I swear to Christ. How can you have a degree in history and be okay with socialism? Yeah, socialism is both bad economically and politically and philosophically. It's against nature. It's against human nature. Dude, there is no way in hell that this Brandon guy has a degree in history. How did you pass your history classes? Clearly you fell asleep and the professor just felt sorry for you. You fell asleep through all your history classes, clearly. Because if you studied history, if you really had a degree in history, you would know that socialism is one of the stupidest ideas that mankind has ever created. And just because you put democratic in front of the word socialist doesn't make it any better. In fact, in all reality, if you put democratic in front of socialist, you actually just make socialism even worse, because democracy is a really crappy idea. Majority rule is stupid. Let's just put it out there. Majority rule is actually stupid. Democracy is a bad idea. So putting democracy and socialism together in one single sandwich really is probably the stupidest thing ever. Brandon Hudson says, I've never once in my life advocated for socialism. Okay, do you advocate for democratic socialism, Mr. Brandon? Do you advocate for democratic socialism? Because if you do, you're still advocating for socialism. Just because you put the word democratic in front of the word socialist doesn't mean that it changes the definition of socialism. You're basically combining two really shitty ideas together to make an even bigger pile of crap. So wait, when you say of course, are you saying, of course, you're a democratic socialist? Because if you are, then you're still a socialist. If you say that you're a democratic socialist, you are still a socialist. What are we doing here? Holy shit. Dude, this is what scares me, dude. It's funny. You have a degree in history, and I'm just a fan of reading history. Clearly, I paid more attention to history than you did. How the hell did you get a history degree? How the hell did you get a history degree? That actually blows my mind. This is why I think college is a waste of time. Either you went to a really crappy university, which is probably a really crappy community college, and you probably just fucking slacked off. Dude, honestly, I don't even really trust anybody who has a degree anymore because most of them are full of fucking shit. Most degrees are full of shit anyway. I learned everything I needed to learn from reading the textbooks on my own. I never paid for college tuition because I never went to college. I just read college level textbooks to understand subjects I wanted to understand better. Holy crap, dude. Holy shit, dude. So Brandon, so you understand capitalism better than anybody. So let me guess. Your conclusion is that capitalism is bad. Is that your conclusion? Because if that's your conclusion, that's in my opinion, a really crappy conclusion that you're making. Crazy though, man. Crazy. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We got 10,925 subs. Mucho apreciado. We're having a good time tonight. We're just kind of chilling out on the computer. Let's see. Dude says you can absolutely frustrate and stump people with degrees. Seen it happen and it's wild. Yeah, most people with degrees that I've met are really actually kind of are pretty out of touch with reality and don't understand how anything really works because they were probably D students in college but still found a way to get the degree. Brandon says everything you've broadly asserted is actually happening right now and you're fighting to stay in this runway of train corruption. Okay, so let me get this straight. You're saying that capitalism's bad, so the alternative is obviously democratic socialism. Brandon, look, you have been advocating, it sounds like you've been advocating for democratic socialism. And I'm telling you that the grass is not always greener on the other side. If you go from capitalism to socialism, even if you think that capitalism's kind of bad or super bad, whatever, then the problem is when government starts interfering with free markets. And our government has been interfering with free markets for a very long time, and that needs to stop. Robert says socialism is for losers, people who can't cut the mustard, make it on their own. Yeah, I'm not a fan of socialism, man. I really am not. I believe that there should be social safety nets. Absolutely, 100%. I really do believe that. But at the same time, it's like I think if you inject too many socialist principles into a society, I think you really may crumble that society, and you don't really want to risk. You don't want to take that risk. You just don't want to take that risk, man. You don't. I'm telling you. We're not currently in a free market system. I agree with you there. We're sadly not, because the government's interfered with our free markets for far too long. The 2008 bailout was where I was like, fuck, we're fucked.
Place. Emily, listen to AOC. She has been careful with her endorsements. She has not endorsed in this race, but she was asked about Francesca Hong this weekend. Here's what she said.
I have a local city councilman that has this saying woke one was crazy.
Did the movement go too far with some of those positions? I mean, you briefly supported the idea of defunding the police.
I think that during this time and especially during...
Dude, AOC's getting called out, basically. She was so part of that defund the police shit. Yeah, socialism blows, man.
And COVID, there was a huge opening of the Overton window. Of course, rhetoric in that time is not rhetoric that we would use today.
So I'm sorry. No.
So she's essentially saying, by the way, that the rhetoric was wider during COVID, that the aperture was broader, meaning it was okay to be a radical at that time and to use that language, and specifically to be advocating for policies and concepts that directly affect and impact negatively underserved communities and people of color. So now she's saying, but now it's a different time. I'm not quite sure what has changed, because we're the same America. What has changed would be an 800% uptick in crimes against Asian Americans, a 700% uptick in crimes against Jewish people, an entire generation of police officers that retired and with them left the institutional knowledge, and a spike in assaults, attacks, and ambushes. I mean, the list goes on of how her rhetoric had a negative impact on this country. She's obviously running for president. Hong, to me, represents a leaderless individual who is a chameleon and a parrot of ideas that she does not generate on her own. Note her language, just like AOC during Woke One, which was simply to parrot what other people, what true radicals are generating. They are the facsimile of that. She is, as a hopeful governor, attempting to defund the police. These policies are incongruent with someone that attempts to lead a state. You are telling me that she will be the head of unions, the head of law enforcement, the head of civic and social protection? The answer is a resounding, horrified no. And she also, in her dabbling in racial matters, is frankly simply a conduit for agitation. And the DSA bigwig, who says, as a democracy, you're welcome, by the way, and then says, what do we need?
We're a republic, by the way. We're a constitutional representative republic. Go on.
And where are we getting it? You need our money, and you're getting it from us, with which you will simply pad the bureaucracy. So these people are frightening. They're getting pretty far, but people, voters, you guys, we all have to understand the worst thing we can do is put them in decision-making positions.
Molly, on that, I want to come to the politics of this with you, because you have David Crowley. He hails from a different wing of the Democratic Party against Francesca Hong. Polling shows that she is up by double digits, at least the polling I have seen. Polling was way off with El Sayed. He only won by 1. It said he would win by double digits. But let me read to you a quote from David Crowley, because there is this very weird union. He says, you know, it's the only time that I know that the governor, Tony Evers, who has said that he doesn't think Hong can win, the Republican Governors Association and Turning Point USA have ever been on the same page in thinking that Francesca Hong is the best candidate to lose this race. Turning Point USA on the same page as the Democratic governor on this one.
Well, the reason why they might be on the same page, the Democratic Party under Bill Clinton was a little bit of a different party. That party hasn't been in existence since 2008. And Obama has been giving phone calls to these people saying how happy he is that they're rising through the ranks. And you point out about the direct democracy that they're pushing. That is un-American. It's anti-American. This is a really serious threat to our constitutional republic, which is not a direct.
Yes, like I always say, we're a constitutional republic. Thank you. We're not a democratic constitutional republic. We are simply a constitutional republic. That is it. Is democracy a little part of it? Yes, because there's a democratic process to elect the representatives and the senators. But after that, we're not a democracy, because if we were an actual democracy, the whole nation would vote on the laws. We have representatives and senators who vote on the laws on our behalf. So stop
Democracy
that.
precisely to make sure that the mobs don't get to hold sway here. So people need to understand just what a serious threat, like all the positions that Hong has, which are, by the way, the same as AOC has. She might be hiding them as she's trying to win a general, or she's pointing more toward a general presidential election. But she's said those same things. Opposing rule of law, opposing law enforcement, opposing borders. These are pretty standard positions in the Democratic Party. Whether they're able to win a national election with that will be entirely a different question.
Completely underscoring your point is the fact that El Sayed won and all of his critics folded in with him. And
Smooth Bandit, I'm sorry, dude. You're ignorant as hell. Stop trying to gaslight me into thinking that I'm ignorant. How the hell am I ignorant? I understand this shit far more than you do, dude. Oh, no, I know how our country works. Do you know how our country works? Dude, you clearly don't know how our country works. We're not a democracy. We're simply a constitutional representative republic. Now, when we're choosing those representatives, that process is a democratic process, but that does not mean that as a whole, we are a constitutional republic as a whole.
And if she wins on Tuesday, I predict she'll.
I'm dealing with a bunch of ignoramuses in the chat. Too many ignoramuses in the chat. It's grinding my last nerve. I'm trying my best to keep it together. Oh, you guys are trying my last nerve, dude. You guys are trying my last nerve, dude. You're trying my last nerve. Okay, just kidding, by the way. I don't really care. Let's keep going. Let's keep flowing.
See the same. Yep. The Democratic Party is now the DSA party.
Be sure to like and
Dude, I'm kind of excited though. We're almost to 11,000 subscribers. Once again, we're almost to 11,000 subs. This is exciting. I'm excited, man.
Oh my god, it's just really, I'll have to show that
great.
these pictures are fucking ridiculous, guys. Y'all really losing your minds. Oh my god, it's just really, I'll have to show that these
That's great, dude. Okay, let's see. Another frosting stream when we hit 11,000. No. I don't feel like doing a frosting stream. No, thank you. I may not do one of those for a while, to be honest, but they're fun. They are pretty entertaining to do, admittedly. I appreciate that, though. I may do that eventually, Annie. I may. Hey, Brandon Hudson, dude, we're still a constitutional republic, constitutional representative republic, whether you like it or not. That doesn't change anything. Just because you're angry at me doesn't change the fact that we're a representative republic. You kidding me? We are. We're not a democracy. We're a representative republic. It's that fucking simple. I even confirmed it on Google. I confirmed it with AI. AI agrees with me. Because AI knows that I'm right, because I know my shit. You fell asleep in history class. I didn't. And even when I did, I still read the textbooks. I still read as much as I could to understand what the past was all about. But yeah, democracy is not a good way to govern. Well, I don't know what we should watch, you guys. What do you think we should watch? Maybe I'll even just call it a night. I was thinking I might do a few pre-recorded videos about some of the what do you call it? Drawing a blank. I was gonna do a few pre-recorded videos on a few BDCs and stuff like that. See what else I'm doing. I don't know. Either way, I'm probably also going to be improving some of the search engine optimization for some of my short videos as well, making it to where a lot of my short videos are a little more discoverable and a little more visible. I think the more visible my short videos are, the better. But I could also keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, so here's why Fauci should get immunity. Let's take a listen.
Paul Morrow is now on set here in New York and joins us. He's also an attorney and a Fox News contributor. Paul, great to have you here. So apparently Dr. Fauci said in these texts, as Congress continues to dig through them, that the second COVID dose could theoretically be associated with miscarriage in the first trimester of pregnancy, but was putting out different information publicly. Where do you go?
Exactly. Lying. He was lying. So mad, dude. What the fuck? Jeez. Hold on, I'm checking something one more time. Oh, this is great, dude. Oh, man. It's entertaining. Just some entertaining stuff I'm reading. I wonder. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm kind of ignoring that Brandon guy because he's clearly pretending to have a degree. Because he pretends to have a degree in history. And, like, if he actually did have a degree in history, he would understand that capitalism is far better of a system than any form of socialism could ever imagine itself being. because socialism doesn't offer incentives to human beings. It's incompatible with humanity. And it's also inherently unfair. Socialism as a system is just inherently unfair. Redistribution of wealth is actually a very unequitable idea. I don't like it, man. Thank you, Frog Eat Frog. I love you, bro. Dude, the only grifter here, Brandon, is you pretending to have a college degree in history. The reason I know that you don't have a degree in history is because you think that democratic socialism is a better alternative to capitalism.
Go with this legal.
That's how I know you don't have a degree in history. I'm talking pretty directly to you, Brandon.
Well, first of all, everybody's thinking criminally, civilly. This is a bit of a minefield for him because women who suffered, in fact, that kind of a miscarriage are going to be thinking lawsuit immediately. Secondly, however, let's understand what's going on here. He took the fifth in a federal proceeding in Congress, and he is theoretically protected by the fact that Joe Biden gave him that pardon.
He got the auto pen pardon, dude. He got the auto pen pardon.
I think while he has been referred technically by the Senate because of contempt of Congress is their theory here, I actually don't think that's...
I mean, if you already are protected by your pardon, then you don't need to use the fifth. I think he's right on this one. I think that he's right.
Going to hold up. And in fact, the fact that Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, certain other states have reportedly decided that they may be looking at prosecuting him is actually his best argument. The fact that the states are looking at him supports his argument that I took the fifth to avoid self-incrimination because not federally, state-wise, I may be prosecuted. So that gives him something.
That is true. Yeah, he could be prosecuted on a state level. So that actually makes a lot of sense. Because if a presidential pardon doesn't prevent state charges, and there's a lot of states that honestly blame Dr. Fauci for a lot of shit when it came to the COVID era. So it's understandable. Fauci's terrible.
Think of an out. He's allowed to do that. Here's where I think we should be going on this referral. Give the whole thing to Ginny Pirro. She's the attorney for D.C., U.S. attorney. Convene a grand jury. Now, you have a grand jury together. You subpoena him in. Give him immunity. I know everybody wants to see him in jail and everything else. Forget revenge. More important is for this nation to understand what the hell happened to us. Give him immunity. He can't take the fifth in that proceeding. If he does, he's de facto in contempt. Then he goes to jail, period, end of story. Give him immunity, put him in the grand jury, and then if I could just close the loop, Sandra, don't stop there. Get everybody who was supposedly part of this pardon, who from what I see from the history, Joe Biden wasn't even a party to. Same thing. Get them in, give immunity to who you have to, and let's understand how he got this pardon, why he did what he did, so that it can never happen again, and so that we can concretize the narrative that China almost certainly released this thing from a lab, and we were sold this bill of good about bat soup.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, from a scientific...
Dr. Fauci's the science, you guys remember? God. Ugh. Fucking insane, man.
Standpoint, Paul, it would be great to find out exactly what people believe and truly believe about where this virus came from so that it could be prevented in the future. But I think there are a lot of people who say, hey, if you're throwing around immunity for people who are misleading the American people, potentially put people in harm's way, that's not something that they're willing to buy into.
That's right. I think it's going to be a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow, particularly Fauci. A lot of the other characters involved nobody's ever heard of. And so, you know, okay, they got immunity, get them to tell the truth. I think people can probably live with that. You're not going to have to give it to everybody, by the way. Once you get one or two talking, then they all start to fold because they don't know what's being said about them. They don't know if they're being blamed. And this is how you build criminal cases. You give the key people immunity, some kind of a deal. I mean, let me put it in sort of gangster terms. They got Sammy the Bull, who committed more homicides than Gotti, but they gave him a deal to testify against Gotti because that's the guy that they wanted. Right. Get these people into a federal grand jury. And unfortunately, and I know it's a bitter pill, but if you give Fauci immunity, he has to tell us the truth. And we want that as a nation, because at this point, he's 85.
We do need the truth. I do want the truth. And Fauci needs to spill the beans. We must know the truth about COVID. It's imperative.
He's going to be somebody who, in my estimation, his reputation is never going to recover. We're now starting to see the exploitation of the phone, which I hope they have the right people.
I bet you that phone is going to uncover so many things. I cannot wait to see what they uncover in that phone. They're going to see just how terrible Mr. Anthony Fauci actually is.
People exploiting our phone. I did 25 years of this kind of stuff. And my career grew up with the exploitation of mobile phones. There's a way to do it. Nothing ever completely gets erased. And the phone that they got reportedly is the one he had during COVID. You can't believe what should be in that phone. I hope they're doing it the right way, keeping a log, because God knows what they're going to find in that phone.
Just going back and just, reading the words of this text and the questions that Dr. Fauci did indeed have over pregnancy and the timing of these vaccines, he was questioning specifically about a fever after a second dose and a theoretical risk of miscarriage during the first trimester. This is what these text messages are revealing. At the same time, publicly was saying that they didn't see any red flags or any need to delay getting that dose beyond the first trimester. I mean, you just think about the reaction so many people could be having in this country to this right now.
I want to be clear. I'm not defending him. Actually, I have been one of his principal antagonists, both on my own website, the Ops Desk, on things that I've written for various publications, and on the air. I've never trusted some of the stuff that was coming out of him. And let's remember something. He wasn't the head of the CDC. He went off on his own. The media created him, and all of a sudden he became the face of it, and he wanted to. He dug his own grave here. But
he wanted the fame. Dr. Fauci wanted to be the face of COVID. Little did he know there would be a lot of pissed off people. I think he thought that everybody would love him. No. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't like this guy. I'm one of them. Evil bastard.
But don't we as a nation want to get our truth here relative to the fact that this was, at the very least, an inadvertent release of a deadly virus that we very well may have partially funded.
Hey, Paul, we got to jump in on you here.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, it's a little cat. It's a cat that has short spines. Let's take a watch. Oh, what a sweet baby. Oh my goodness. Man, I love animals so much. They're amazing. Like, straight up, like, animals are so cool. This cat, though, is so adorable. What a sweet baby. Looks like he's a very happy kitty, he or she. It always warms my heart when they're not in pain or anything like that, when they have those sorts of conditions. It's just, it breaks my heart. Seeing any life suffer, just it breaks me. It breaks me. Oh, heck yeah. Manny Ramirez. Hell yeah. WNBA may never recover. Oh, no. Well, where do we go from here? That is the question. It's good to do a 3-hour stream, though. I've been trying to get back into the habit of, doing these extended streams and stuff like that, just because I really do enjoy, talking to you guys and having fun. Man, this is crazy. I mean, this is cray-cray, dude. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to think of what else we could react to. We could react to Clown TV. Oh no, what's Clown TV doing? He only streamed for like 5 minutes. Or 6 minutes. Okay, whatever. Trying to figure out what to watch next, man. Gowron. Ooh, that's wonder where Martok is in this clip, if he's in this one. It's my boy Wei Yun right here. Played by Jeffrey Combs. Brandon saying that Garza the grifter gave up. Dude, I just don't pay attention to you, dude, because because first off, you're probably pretending to have a degree. Honestly, you make some shitty points about a lot of stuff. Capitalism rocks. Capitalism straight up rocks. Socialism sucks. Terrible concept. Been tried throughout history, failed time and time again. Sorry, bud. You're irrelevant to the conversation. And when I get bored of somebody in the chat, if you're in the chat and you're making a lot of low IQ points and they're not really good ones, I'm just going to start ignoring you. You're not this is my show. I'll just ignore you. I'm not going to ban you or anything. Even if I think you're an idiot, I'm not going to ban you. I'm just not going to pay attention to you. I'll let you keep talking, though. It helps my engagement. So, no, like legitimately, it helps my engagement. So please keep talking. Wait, that was an interesting one. How to become dangerously self-educated with AI. Hold on. I'm kind of curious about this video.
What do these great minds have in common? Henry Ford left school at 15 and taught himself mechanics on a farm, and he later became the world's second billionaire. Walt Disney, the guy who reinvented the whole animation industry, dropped out of high school at 16. Even Elon Musk taught himself how to program at 12. He's now on a mission to colonize Mars. Did you see the pattern? While everyone else memorized what they were told, they took it upon themselves to learn and grow. The system...
Yep, exactly. Pick up a skill, learn a skill, and then get inspired by the skill that you learn. Like, it's funny because I started doing software programming, for example, at a young age. I got really interested in it. I found one of my dad's old textbooks on C++. I was able to start learning how to use a compiler. Then I started, learning other things. I started learning other programming languages like PHP, which is more of an interpreter language, but that's all right. Stuff like that. So you really just want to learn skills that will give you a bit of a nudge. There's other things that I learned, things like video editing, doing audio engineering and stuff like that through, digital audio and stuff. Video, making sure my video is good and stuff. So it's funny. I have an entire career in broadcasting in a sense, just by learning and picking up skills. I learned how to invest. That was a big deal. Me learning how to invest set me up for life. I'm never going to have to worry about anything really ever again because I learned how to invest, and I invested hard, and I stayed diversified, but I stayed vigilant. So anyway, I keep rocking it.
Some call them dropouts. History calls them legends.
Yeah, they basically said school's stupid. School teaches you memorization and basically how to be a puppet. And it's like these guys were like, oh yeah, I'm just going to learn shit and do shit. I'm going to learn on my own, and I'm going to do shit on my own.
I got put on ADHD medication at 11, taken out of my home at 12, and in my late teens I'd been in and out of jail. And it was in rehab where I saw it, a yellow book on Java programming sitting on a desk. And
That's fucking hilarious because I have an introduction to Java book as well. That it's not that exact same book, but it's like a second or third edition of it.
Taught myself to code from that book. That one book put me on a path that led to me building and exiting 3 tech companies before I was 35.
That's why I love AI so much, because now I don't have to do any of the programming on my own. Like, I can actually give AI a blueprint of how I want the program to work overall and what I want it to do, and AI will build it for me. I don't have to program anything anymore. I fucking love it. I'm lazy. When I need software, I still like to program on my own. It's still fun, but I will admit, learning programming languages definitely helps you with like learning different forms of logic and stuff.
Every bit of the life I have today. Here's the problem. The school system doesn't reward education. It rewards memorization.
Yeah,
and
that's true. I've made that argument a lot in my life. It always bugged me that in school we had to like just memorize things. We never really learned how to think. We never really learned how to prepare our lives the right way. We never studied rich people. I wish we would have studied rich people when I was in high school. I think that there should be a class dedicated to studying wealthy people. I really do. But the reason they don't have those classes in public schools is because they don't want you to think like a rich person. They want you to think like a poor person. So if you start studying wealthy people, you're going to start understanding what it takes to become wealthy. This is one of the reasons why I'm glad I studied wealthy people on my own. I would not have learned how to invest if I would have just relied on my high school education. Brandon over here is telling me that I never learned how to think. Well, how the hell what do you mean I've never learned how to think? I'm able to tell you why I think what I think. I'm able to tell you why I think what I think. So how did I ever not learn how to think? I learned critical thinking skills on my own. And I also studied some, I studied things like logic and stuff like that. And truth is, I don't really work with people a lot. I work with, I usually just do educational, informational videos, and that's pretty much it. I just want to teach people about investing and good investment and decent investments to get into, just for educational and entertainment purposes only, though. Cool.
Created a generation of people addicted to what I call shelf help, reading books, binging podcasts, buying freaking courses, and doing nothing with any of it. Trust me, I have my own graveyard of courses. You're not the problem. The method you inherited is. Today, the tools to self-educate are better than any classroom. So in this video, I'm going to teach you my self system. 7 steps to teach you anything with AI as your unfair advantage. Your education in your own hands.
That is the one thing I like about AI. When I need to learn a subject, I actually ask it to teach me the subject, and it does a really good job of teaching me. I'll admit that. So, I've been able to educate myself using AI. I've even used AI to educate me on how to use AI better. Crazy, huh? What a concept. No, and I think it's amazing. I think educating yourself is, I think of I think it was Thomas Edison who once said, I never let my schooling get in the way of my education. It's important, man. I think learning on your own is an extremely important idea and an extremely important practice.
Starting with, select it. What should I actually learn? There's a gap between what most people learn and what people actually need to learn. Growing up, your parents picked for you, schools picked for you. Today, the algorithm is picking for you.
Yeah.
It feels like learning, but it's so much wasted learning because it's just for learning's sake. So for once in your life, let's take that power back. And to do that, the first thing you need to understand.
Select it, yeah. Determine what you want to learn. Don't let the algorithm point you in the right direction or the wrong direction. You want to point yourself in the direction of what you need to learn.
And it's point 1, just in time learning. We either learn just in case, meaning in case something happens, or we learn just in time, which is the thing we need today. Think about
exactly. That's the best thing about AI. When I need to get educated on a subject that I need to know right here, right now, I love it. It helps a lot, dude. It helps so much, dude. I can't even begin.
They made me study facts about history that have never come up in anything I've ever done, but it was just in case. Then I get into business and I realize that if I learn how to hire people, I can use that today and it'll help me just in time.
I will say the one thing I did like about history was I learned what worked and what didn't work. When you study history, you learn what is effective and what is ineffective, especially with like political systems, economic systems, you name it, right? So that's one of the reasons why I'm so against socialism and communism, is because the things I read convinced me that, oh my God, this is something we should not implement in the present day, or else we're going to go to hell. When I say hell, I mean like our society will go to crap. Thank you. I do have very beautiful blue eyes. Thank you. Man, everybody compliments me on my eyes, and I appreciate it, by the way. I do have very beautiful blue eyes. I appreciate that. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Time. Trying to memorize something just in case doesn't actually make the retention show up. Because if I'm trying to learn to solve a problem that's there today, man, am I ever going to focus on it? You don't need more information. That's just interesting. You need more execution, the doing. Here's how we solve this. Just ask yourself one question. What problem is this helping me solve? If you can't point to it, that's shelf-help. So how do we figure out what you need right now? Here's where AI changes everything, which is point 2. Don't ask AI, let AI ask you.
Don't ask AI, let AI ask you.
I'm talking to my AI. I have it ask me the questions. I say, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's what I'm trying to solve, the just-in-time thing, and then ask me questions to give it context so it can give me the best answer. AI already knows.
I need to kind of steal that formula a little bit, because I usually just tell it to teach me shit, and it teaches me shit. So here's what I'm trying to do. Here's what I'm trying to solve. So I'd be like, let's say I'm trying to learn how to use my Google Pixel 8 Pro. I can't see, I don't know how to edit video on my Google Pixel 8 Pro. And then I could tell the AI, ask me all the questions you need to gather context for the best answer. That's incredible. That's a great formula. I really like that formula because it makes it more interactive. The one thing I like about AI, it's like you have a portable tutor in your pocket. Like anything I need, like it's crazy. Tutors are, the wild thing is tutors are going to go out of business. AI is putting tutors out of business. I mean, why would you hire a tutor, which is going to be far more expensive, than just have the AI that you pay $20 a month for? I pay a monthly subscription of $20 for ChatGPT. It's amazing. Amazing.
So it can give me the best answer. AI already knows everything about business and strategy and tactics, but it needs to know your business, your goals, your gaps. This is the first time in the history of the world that the technology you're using can actually teach you how to use it better. Whatever excuse you...
That is kind of wild if you think about it, because I have used AI to teach me how to use AI. I use ChatGPT to be like, hey, how can I use ChatGPT to give me an advantage? Or how can I use ChatGPT to get me more money?
You have before about not learning it, it doesn't exist now with the world of AI. And I'm going to teach you in this video how to educate yourself in a way you've never seen before. Here's exactly how I do it. The first thing is I give my AI a prompt. And this is a big one, but it'll be below in the description. I want to self-educate myself on topics that'll help me solve the biggest problems I'm currently facing. I don't want self-help, no learning for the sake of learning. Use everything you know about me. Then interview me to figure out where learning something new would have the biggest impact. Then do a deep research project to build me a list of resources to learn from. I believe in just-in-time learning, not just in case. Only recommend things I can apply immediately. Don't give me the most popular resources. Give me the ones that fit my current struggle. And then...
Interesting. So I want to self-educate on topics that help me solve the biggest problems I am currently facing. No shelf help. No learning for the sake of learning.
Deliver it to me as a spreadsheet with the resources, the format. I'm talking books, podcasts, creators, courses, the link, and why you picked it for me. If anything's unclear, ask me before you start.
That's wild, dude. That's a good prompt. That's a pretty fast. Damn, hold on. What's here? Build your customers daily brief. I don't know. I feel like this is a little too much, because like when I'm using AI to learn things, I'm pretty much just asking it what I need. I'm just like, hey, I want to learn this. I want you to teach me this subject. The architect, voice and style inside it. One daily brief on your space. Podcast. I like that prompt though. It's a pretty cool prompt. I should put that into ChatGPT right now. I'm putting that prompt into GPT. Let's see what happens. Learning. Change the results immediately. Resource research. It's kind of cool, man. It's an interesting prompt.
And I don't know if you noticed this, but I use my MAPS framework for prompting it. And if you don't know what it is, I'm going to...
MAPS, no. We know what MAPS means. Hell no.
I'll link it at the end so you can watch it. Now here's a pro tip. If you're using Claude, just ask it to use the Ask User Tool feature. The cool thing is it'll then interview you using multiple choice checkboxes for the whole thing. It'll even let you rearrange the priorities of different things that it might find, but it's super visual, super interesting, and it makes it super easy for you. Once you give that prompt, you have to make sure you answer honestly, because garbage in equals garbage out and the curriculum will suck. It'll then hand you a...
I'm actually kind of curious, so let me see here. What's AI telling me? Understand a state, inherited account, such as... There we go. Got it. This is cool. Okay, so we'll go E and A. There we go. There we are. All right. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much done for the night. I'm just a little bit tired. Hey, we got 10,000 views on this particular live stream, though. It's always nice to get 10,000 views, though. But I appreciate everybody for subscribing today. We got a lot more subscribers than expected, which is awesome, by the way. It's good to be back. I just want to say it's good to be back. It's been a tough 5 weeks. It's been extremely tough 5 weeks, man. You know, I just want to say this. You know, I've been thinking about my mom every single day, and I miss her for sure. It's been, and thank you, Hezekiah, for the happy poop. I appreciate that, brother. We always love happy poop on this channel. Happy poop is the official, no, it's not the official, but if I was to have an official gift for this channel, it would probably be the happy poop. But yeah, no, with everything that's happened, you know, I miss my mom quite a bit, and it's just like, you know, every day, you know, I'm still, you know, obviously I'm still crying and stuff like that. And in fact, to be honest, I'm able to have a little more emotional control as days go by, but I'm still, you know, I have my mom's, some of my mom's ashes in this urn right here. This urn contains her ashes. And, it's extremely difficult to talk about, but when I'm doing this show, I have when I'm working on all my stuff that I'm working on my computer, I have her ashes sitting right next to me. In fact, I have it sitting right here on my desk, and I make sure it's within my visual threshold because it brings me a sense of comfort. It brings me a sense of relief to know that my mom's next to me in some capacity. Even if it's simply her remains. It was very tough to acknowledge that I lost my mom. It's still very tough to acknowledge that I lost her. I miss her a lot, man. I miss her a lot. And I want to say thank you guys for giving me the time that I needed to heal. Because when she was on hospice for the last month of her life, she was such a fighter. And she was afraid. But she was also brave. You know, bravery is not the absence of fear. You know what bravery is? It's being able to face something despite the fact that you have that fear. She faced death so gracefully. And even if she didn't, even if somehow she didn't, it wouldn't matter. She was a warrior. And I miss her a lot. And the reason I'm talking about her towards the end of the episode is because I guess somehow it makes me feel better to let you guys know what kind of person she was. And that she was very encouraging to me. She may not have always understood all the things that I was doing, but she was extremely encouraging. And I'm forever grateful for that. Anyway, I'm sorry that, I'm not sorry. I don't want to be sorry. I had to say that. I had to say those things because it was from the heart. And, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I've had a lot of great people remind me that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Even if you're hurting, it's going to be okay. And that's a message I want to give to a lot of you guys right now. If you're hurting, if you're not feeling good, if maybe you lost someone, maybe you lost a family member, a friend, even an animal that you loved a lot, there's nothing that'll make you feel better. You just got to give yourself time to heal. And you got to give yourself time to feel. And that's not even meant to be joking. It kind of rhymed, but you got to give yourself time to heal, and you got to give yourself time to feel. It's okay to cry. It's okay to lose it a little bit. I'll tell you what, I lost it the other day. I went out deep as far as I could go where no one would find me. And I just cried. I was drinking and I was crying because I was crying so hard that I used the drink to at least try to numb the pain that I was feeling. And I don't mean for this to go down a dark turn, a dark path. I just want to let you know that feel your pain. Just feel it. Don't try to run from it. Sometimes if you need a little something to kind of ease the tension in your body, that's fine. Do what you got to do there. It helps to talk about her. It helps. Because it makes me feel like she's right here with me, you know? And in a weird way, I almost feel like she has been nearby. I can't explain it. I can't. I really can't. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. But somehow her presence is... I can't explain it. I can't explain it. But it brings me comfort to know that somehow she's nearby. Because there have been these feelings that I feel like they're not coming from me internally. They're coming from an external source. As if something is pushing me to feel differently. And I notice that when I get really, really sad, I can't explain it. It's just, it's different from anything that I felt before.